What's up, friends, and happy Friday. Welcome into Rock Chalk Sports here on ESPN Kansas City and KansasNation.com with our technical director, Elijah Schmidt, and Tyler Brewer behind the cameras today. Alongside Dan Courtwright, I'm Sean Kellerman. Thanks for joining us. Another packed show full of content centered around Jayhawk football at Monster Energy Big 12 Football Media Days a little bit earlier this week. Had a lot of content on yesterday's show and even more today. Looking forward to providing that for all of you guys and hope everybody's excited for a hot weekend here in Lawrence. Here in the opening segment, we're going to hear from KU wide receiver Cam Pickett. We had a quick hitter one-on-one with Cam Pickett and Todd Lebo yesterday, but today we're going to see a one-on-one exclusive interview that Cam Pickett had with ESPN Wichita. The ESPN Wichita guys had the opportunity to go down to Frisco, Texas and be at Big 12 Football Media Days and got a few interviews for us to play. We're going to hear from KU interior defensive tackle Blake Herold after that and go over some NBA Summer League stuff from last night. Darren Peterson, AJ DeBonsa did battle, and a few other Jayhawks in action today, of course, as the Summer League runs from July 9th to 19th. But we'll recap what happened yesterday on the hardwood. And then, of course, on Monday's show, we'll let you know everything that went down across the Summer League this upcoming weekend. Following that, it is Sports Stock Market.
Ding, 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 ding.
What's on tap today, Daniel?
Got a lot of fun stuff on here. Got a interesting story about the San Antonio Spurs play-by-play announcer. I don't know if you saw that. Also, some fantasy football stuff. Interesting. You know how much we love talking fantasy football.
We do.
Also, an update on the Kirk Kriisa thing. We never really followed up on it because when it initially came out, we had talked about it. Oh, I think he got arrested by the FBI. A lot of rumblings were around a point-shaving scandal. Turns out he wasn't shaving points at all. It was way worse than that.
Yeah, it wasn't even related to sports gambling, was it?
No,
This is actually a crazy story.
It was way worse than that. Oh, my gosh, it was unbelievable. Also, I have some little hockey talk on there. An interesting story from a name some KU fans might know that I have an inside scoop on, so I'll fill you in on that as well. But a lot of great stuff here on Sports Stock Market.
Yeah, Dan Courtwright always keeps you up to breast, as he would say, on everything going on in the world of sports. After that, Shreyas Laddha, Kansas City Star, he's going to sit on that couch right over there and join us here in studio to talk all things basketball and football. I know Shreyas is very, very high on the prospects of Kansas football this upcoming season, so excited to hear how many wins he thinks the Jayhawks will obtain and see the positivity really roll out of the mouth of Shreyas Laddha. That's what he does.
If there's anybody who's positive, it's Shreyas.
After that, back to Frisco, Texas. It's a one-on-one interview with ESPN Wichita's Pat Strothman and head football coach Lance Leipold from a couple days ago at the Ford Center. And then we're going to close out the show with our KU football opponent outlook. We're going to preview Texas Christian, the Horned Frogs, who have a nice little roster on tap, despite the fact that they're losing Josh Hoover to Indiana.
Yeah, Josh Hoover was obviously a big part of TCU last year through maybe, more interceptions that they wanted, but they got rid of their OC. Their OC is now with South Carolina. They brought in a new offensive coordinator. I'll kind of break that down because they brought in UConn's offensive coordinator, a really good offensive coordinator, one of the hottest names kind of in the coaching market over this past offseason, and lands over there in Fort Worth. So interesting stuff there. By the way, TCU, a lot of people forget, they're the only current Big 12 team right now that's played for a college football playoff championship at this point. So, Sonny Dykes, really good coach, brought over some really nice transfers, got a lot of really great returners. So this should be an interesting game.
I always like when a game falls on Halloween like this one, because then we can do the Crimson and Boo show on the Jayhawk Radio Network. You like that? I came up with that for sure. Hey, let's go to Frisco, Texas right away, though. One-on-one interview, ESPN Wichita and KU wide receiver, who we are really excited about, Cam Pickett.
We'll rock and roll, okay? All right, here we go in 3, 2, 1. Broadcasting from Big 12 Football Media Days in Frisco, Texas. I'm Pat Strothman. Pleased to be joined by one of the wide receivers from Kansas in Cam Pickett. Cam, glad to have you. How are things going here today in Frisco, Texas? Hard to believe that this is Big 12 Football Media Days, right? It's almost time for football.
Yeah, man, the summer's been going fast. Off-season going fast. It's been going well for us. I'm just excited to get to the season.
All right, let's go back to last year. Definitely a lot of trials and tribulations, to say the least. But this is your first year as a Kansas football player, transferring in from Ball State. You're trying to get acclimated, trying to really get a feel for everything. That's got to be tough as a guy transferring in. So How would you go about describing last season, and how do you feel going into the 2026 campaign?
Well, last season we felt like there was a lot we left on the table, and so that's been a big emphasis for us this year is finishing games, finishing drives, and we know what we need to do to win games.
As a player, it's got to be the most frustrating feeling in the world, doesn't it?
Oh,
Just
sure.
realizing how close you are to getting wins and not being able to finish. How do you go about addressing that as a player to try to actually finish a football game and to get more wins?
I mean, as cliche as it may sound, they say like it takes 4 quarters, and it really does. It doesn't matter. You can have a good 3 quarters, but it doesn't mean anything if your fourth quarter is bad because it'll lose you the game, as we've experienced. So
Yeah. What were some of the things that you decided, and you're still working on it? It's summer. You're still going to work out. You're still going to put in the work in. It's not like you're stopping now. But what were some of the points of emphasis here in this offseason in order for Cam Pickett to take the next big step and to be a guy who's an all Big 12 caliber, if not all-American type of player for 2026?
really just focusing on the details, doing the things that'll take me to the next level mentally with football. Whether it be being able to read certain coverages faster, knowing what to expect from defenses just to give me a little bit more of an edge.
With your comfortability level, I know it's not Jalen Daniels throwing the football, but do you still feel maybe a little bit more comfortable just knowing the system? Although you got Andy Koltnicki coming in, so maybe there's a little bit of a change, but I can't imagine there's much because some of the concepts that were there when Andy Koltnicki was there at Kansas, it's not like they went completely away. They were still around a little bit, so you probably already kind of have a familiarity with what's going on from an offensive standpoint this year.
Yeah, there's some things that are the same. There's some that's different.
Sure.
So we just, putting all the good parts together, and really just trying to build off our talent in the locker room.
Sure. When you are out there, you're practicing, it's important to have this sort of connection with the quarterback. It's so important. Jalen Daniels, it's probably easy to kind of hit it off with a guy like that pretty quickly. Cole Ballard, you have Isaiah Marshall. It's a quarterback battle. Last year, you knew who the quarterback was going to be. It was pretty clear cut. For this year, it's still a competition. As a wide receiver, how do you go about that and handling that process of working out with two guys who are both battling out in camp here before too long for fall camp? How do you go about handling that as a wide receiver when you have two different quarterbacks like that who are trying to win the starting battle?
Well, really just trying to make it as easy as possible for them. Making sure we're on our details, we're on point with our depths on our routes, where we're supposed to be when they need us there, and just trying to make it easier for them. And then as well as building relationships with both of the quarterbacks, really the entire quarterback room, just because we know they'll both be playing. So.
Let's talk a little bit about each quarterback. Cole Ballard. I saw pictures. I thought that was a linebacker, not a quarterback, if I'm being honest. He's a big dude.
Yeah.
He's a big dude. What do you see from Cole Ballard as a QB? We'll talk about Isaiah here in a little bit, but what do you see from Cole Ballard?
Well, he's a great leader. He's very hungry. Like I said, he's very determined. He's a good field general. Like when he speaks, the team listens. So he's just very good leader-wise.
What about Isaiah Marshall? Obviously not as giant as Cole Ballard. Not saying he's a small guy, though. Isaiah Marshall's not a small guy. It's just Cole is just he looks so big in pictures. It's pretty incredible. But Isaiah Marshall, this is a guy who's been learning the last couple of years. Of course, Cole has been too. There's no doubt. But Isaiah Marshall, when he arrived on campus at KU, many expected big things out of him in the future. And now he just kind of waited for his moment. And now it could be this year. Maybe get an opportunity to be the starting quarterback at Kansas. What does Isaiah Marshall bring to the table?
He's also a very good leader, and he's very athletic. He's very dynamic. He can throw the ball well. He can run the ball well. So I think it's good with him. He'll definitely lead the defense. Wonder what we're going to do.
A lot of new faces in the wide receiver room. You're kind of the guy now. You and Keaton Quebeca, I guess. I don't want to sleep on Keaton because he's been around the program for a while. But it's up to you two to get some of these new guys acclimated. What do you see from some of these new guys here for 2026? What are some of the things that jump out at you when you watch them?
We got 2 really good transfers with Nick McMillan and Najee Cox. I've built really good relationships with them, hanging out with them all the time, and we have a really talented room. I think we're gonna do a lot of great things.
What do each of them bring to the table? Are they both the same type of cat, or are they different guys? Is one a little bit more of a speedster, one a little bit more of a longer guy? What do you think?
Well, Nas, he's a big guy. Put him at X, he can make any 50-50 catch. Big frame, put him outside. He's a really good route runner as well. He's short-handed. And Nick, he's pretty good all around. Make all the hard catches, run really good routes. He got some speed too. So all of us together, we'll be nice.
Good stuff. Andy Kolnicki, I brought him up, a guy who really was a part of the reason why Kansas made this huge jump as a football program. He goes to Penn State. Now he's coming back. So you get a taste of Andy Kolnicki. What have you really experienced with the new offensive coordinator? Although not really new per se, because everyone already knows the guy. So he's not really new, but kind of new for Cam Pickett, I suppose. What are some of the things that really stand out to you with Andy Kolnicki as the offensive coordinator now?
Really, he's just very sure in what he does. He believes what he does works. It's worked for us so far with spring practice, and we feel very confident in our offense. We focus, like I said, a lot on the details and expanding our football IQ so that the O-line should know what the receivers are looking at, what they're doing, and the receivers should know what the O-line is looking at and what defensive fronts. So I feel like all of that together will make our offense really good.
Coach Leipold said you're not afraid to get a little dirty in terms of blocking.
Yes, I do whatever.
Do you take a lot of pride in that, though?
Yeah, for sure.
I love it when coaches say that about wide receivers, saying that guy likes to pick up the lunch pail, put on the hard cap, and we're going to go to work.
Yeah.
Like most wide receivers, no, just give me the ball and give me in space. I'll catch it. But no. He said, Cam's one of those guys that's willing to get out there and block a little bit. So how much pride are you taking that?
Well, it matters a lot because our run game is important because that's what's going to help us as receivers get open. So when we help the run game, a lot of good runs, then that makes it that much easier for a receiver to have a good game because now they know it's a run threat as well.
Primarily, you deal with wide receivers and probably a little bit with the tight ends as well. But we, from Wichita, so I have to bring up Dylan Edwards in the backfield, a guy who's kind of been around, but now he's got a new home there in Kansas. How has Dylan Edwards blended in with this offensive unit, and what can he bring to the table to take this offense to the next level here for 2026?
Yeah, he brings a lot for our offense because he's a very dynamic player, as many people know. He's very fast and elusive, and he can also catch the ball and run routes. So we can use him in the backfield, at receiver, motions, options, in a lot of different ways. So I think me and him together, it'll be very hard for people to stop us.
How much have you enjoyed the new digs there with the stadium? Got to ask about that because you're talking to a guy who's a Jayhawk, all right? Wasn't like that when I was going to KU, man. Yeah. A little bit different, So here we are. It's not complete yet, but what do you feel? How do you feel about the new stadium there at the booth?
Yeah, it's exciting. I got lucky because I came in, as things were already built, and so I got to see. But it's good to see, the state of the other half getting built. It makes you that more excited every day. You come in and you can see the progress. You can see them adding in the seats, putting the lights up, stuff like that. It just tells us that we're that much closer to kickoff.
You excited for London?
Oh, for sure. First time playing overseas.
Yeah?
Yep.
Have you guys talked about how long of a flight it is? Do you know?
Oh, I forgot exactly how long, but it's a very long flight.
It's long enough.
Yeah. Longest flight I ever be on.
Longest flight. What do you do when you have a flight that long? Of course, I think the answer is sleep. That's probably number one, right?
Yeah, sleep. So you could watch a whole TV series.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you got something lined up, don't you?
Oh,
well, or maybe not a TV guy. Maybe not a TV guy.
I watch shows. I like limited series.
Okay.
Yep. So when it's like 8 episodes or something like that.
So you're a binge watcher then. So this is perfect for you then.
Oh yeah, I get something in that.
Yep. You've already started planning then.
Yeah, I'm gonna figure it out.
Well, I was thinking to myself too. I was like, well, maybe he brings like a Switch or something, just plays video games the entire time. I don't know. That's something I would do if I was on there. Play a little 2K, whatever it might be. I don't know. But well, Cam, I appreciate you. One last question: in order for this year to be a successful one for Kansas, what has to happen?
Like I said, we just got to finish. Got to finish games. That's all it is.
Easy enough. Cam, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for your time. The best of luck to you this season.
Thank you.
That's KU wide receiver Cam Pickett earlier this week with ESPN Wichita. Hey, spring and summer are made for backyard fun. If you're like me and you've got kids running outside through the grass, nothing ruins time outside faster than fleas, ticks, and chiggers. That's why families trust Custom Lawn and Landscape to keep their lawns beautiful and protected all season long. They've got a home insect control program to help defend your yard from those pesky bugs so your pets and loved ones can enjoy the outdoors more comfortably and safely. Your first application with Custom Lawn and Landscape is absolutely free. A simple way to take back your backyard this spring and summer. Visit CustomLawn.com to schedule your free first application with a seasonal insect control program. Custom Lawn and Landscape, helping you love your lawn without the bugs. We've got more KU football coverage coming up here on Rock Chalk Sports. Going to hear a one-on-one conversation, ESPN Wichita, with Blake Herold, KU's defensive tackle, who was really an impact player last year, kind of came out of nowhere to become one of the better defensive linemen for the Jayhawks. So we're going to hear from him next segment, talk a little NBA Summer League as well, and stick around. A conversation with head coach Lance Leipold later in the show as well. ESPN Kansas City, KansasNation.com.
Hey, Kansas fans, Coach Bill Self here, and you're watching KansasNation.com.
Celebrate the summer with savings at Crown Toyota. BZ models, 0% APR with a $500 cash incentive. RAV4 models, 4.99% APR. 2026 Toyota Tacoma, 3.99% APR. Get into a 2026 Tundra for 2.99% APR.
At the heart of a city lies the restless, the visionaries, the bold. From redefining events to guiding local youth, providing lifelines of industry, or reshaping wellness across the region, you deserve a financial partner that matches your ambition. At Meritrust, we handle the finances so you can take care of the bold. Meritrust Credit Union. Business, banking, bold.
Jayhawk fans, if you haven't started to follow Kansas Nation on social, now is the time. Facebook, Instagram, X, it's Kansas Nation, and online at kansasnation.com for the latest news and information on your Kansas Jayhawks. Interviews, news conferences, daily and weekly shows, podcasts. Find it all at Kansas Nation and kansasnation.com. kansasnation.com is presented by Game Day Men's Health Lawrence. Step up your game with Game Day Men's Health Lawrence.
Pool, spa, and patio sale at Family Leisure. Pool starting at $19.99. Buy now, swim this summer. Spa starting at $34.99. Swim spa starting at $16,999. 0% interest until 2030 on select items. Adirondack chairs only $199. 5-piece dining set only $8.99. Wicker dining sectional now only $19.99. Make memories this summer. Pool, spa, and patio sale going on now at Family Leisure.
Interview with ESPN Wichita. A couple guys in action. A couple guys were supposed to be in action. KJ Adams did not play for the Warriors. That's frustrating when you are on a team and you have a DNP. I get it. The rosters are big, that sort of thing. But Zeke Mayo didn't play either for the Hawks. Dan, he just had 3 threes and 11 points in 14 minutes.
I know. I have a theory about this.
Okay.
So he had 3 threes in 14 minutes. The Atlanta Hawks are not playing him so that they don't want anybody else to try to sign him. Keep him in the dark. Hold on to him. Say, this is our secret weapon. We don't want anybody to take him away, and then they're going to sign him, and then he's going to lead them to the NBA Finals.
That's got to be it, man.
I think that's it.
Melvin Council also did not play. He is teammates with another former Jayhawk, Hunter Dickinson, who I know Jayhawk fans love seeing Hunter Dickinson have success. 4 of 9 from the field. He hit 2 threes, had a couple blocks, a steal, 3 assists, 6 rebounds, ends up with 12 points. Does Hunter Dickinson. Also on that Pelicans team, Dan, and noteworthy, Micah Peavy. He is best known for being put on a poster by Ochai Agbaji at the Big 12 tournament. Still the best dunk I've ever seen in real life. I mean, the pass from DeJuan Harris was just bad enough to make the dunk like as cool as it could possibly be, but it was the. I know
he had to reach back for it. Thank God that DeJuan Harris threw a bad pass.
I mean, because it was absolutely incredible.
Cranked back.
Yeah.
So you think that was better because you didn't see the Wayne Selden dunk in person, and you didn't see Jamari Traylor in person.
I didn't.
You did see Darren Peterson's dunk against BYU this year in person.
That's true, and that was pretty sick. I had a better view on Abaji's, but I think just the fact that it was a play design that, it looks cool. I don't know the name of the play. I wish I did. But, where Abaji comes off the curl, and it's usually the most athletic guy on the team. So it'd be KJ Adams. I remember Ben McLemore throwing a lot down. But yeah, he grabbed it at the peak and then just threw it down on Peavy, who's super athletic in his own right. Went to Texas Tech after spending some time at TCU. Anyway, he's on that team as well.
Good for Micah Peavy.
Dominique Daniels Jr. also, who almost led Cal Baptist to it got uncomfortable there.
Dominique Daniels Jr. is also on the Pelicans team?
Yeah.
Good for him.
I'm actually uncomfortable.
It did. He was really good.
It was never like a one-possession game, but it was like, this shouldn't be.
I hope you know what? I really hope he gets a shot. Like, I hope he gets signed by somebody because he was really fun to watch.
He was.
I mean, not against Kansas by any stretch of the imagination.
I really don't like being a 4 seed. I'd like to be a 1 seed.
Yeah, it's the same.
Personally. Of course, that's just me. The big thing in Summer League last night, Daniel, though, was number 1 versus number 2. Darren Peterson and the Jazz against AJ DeBonsa and the Wizards. DeBonsa and the Wizards had not played yet in Summer League. Of course, it was day 1 of the Vegas Summer League last night. But as we've talked about, they had the Salt Lake City Summer League, and they also had the California, whatever it was they called, where the Warriors and Kings and Lakers, and Clippers, whoever were all in action.
The Henry Greenstein Classic.
Yeah, exactly. But weird lines for both of them. DeBonsa's line's not great. 7 of 18 from the field, 7 of 8 from the free throw line. So not great efficiency, but he still had 27 and 7. Peterson, not his best performance. He was just 6 of 18. He banked in a 3 at the buzzer, which didn't mean much, but he ended up with 24 points, 3 assists. And I know you're going to have opinions on this, Dan. He has 8 turnovers, which is not good at all. But he also had 9 fouls. You're allowed 10.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, I don't understand how that just doesn't destroy the entire game of basketball, being allowed 10 fouls in the Summer League game. But yeah, he wound up with 9. Darren did not look good in the beginning of this game. Just was missing everything. Found it a little bit there towards the end of it and still wound up at 24 points, still was the leading scorer for the Utah Jazz. So, you do like to see that. 2 for 7 from the three-point line, only 3 rebounds, 3 assists, but 8 turnovers. I mean, Watkins, who was it? Jameer Watkins for the Wizards was kind of picking his pocket there a little bit. He had a really nice he was playing good defense. He also had 9 fouls, but he was playing good defense on Darren Peterson.
I felt like Peterson was getting mauled, which I felt like a lot last year too. But yeah,
for sure. I mean, Peterson did shoot 8 free throws though, so I mean there is that. Went 6 for 8 from the free throw line. 24 points, still a good performance. But is this the first time that AJ DeBonsa has beaten Darren Peterson in anything?
I don't know. I think so.
I think they've faced off like 3 or 4 times in high school and in
played under
combined.
the table. But shout out to Jonas Idu, by the way. He had 8 fouls himself in less than 18 minutes. So he's using his fouls, and that's what Peterson has said.
Don't you wish Calipari? Don't you wish? I bet John Calipari wishes they had 10 fouls whenever Jonas Idu was out there.
Yeah. So that's that. Today we've got some other Jayhawks in action. Well, we hope to see some Jayhawks in action over the weekend because there are some DNPs in this situation when you got 20, 25 guys on each roster. But an opportunity. Hopefully the guys are having some fun, but not too much fun over there in Sin City. Hey, let's go back to Wichita, or back to Frisco, rather, where we're going to hear from some Wichita guys. It's Jackson Schneider. He had a sit-down with KU defensive tackle Blake Herold a little bit earlier this week at Big 12 Football Media Days.
Welcome back. Jackson Schneider visiting now with Kansas Jayhawk defensive lineman Blake Herold, and a guy that I'm a bigger guy now, but you make me look very small. So I need to have you around me a lot more. Have you been focusing on getting a little bigger and stronger this offseason?
No, ever since I got to KU, I've been kind of focusing on that. Coming from high school, I played my senior year at like 230. So being able to put on that much weight and sitting at about 300 right now, it's been a journey for sure. Something I've struggled with was putting on weight, but I'm here now and I'm sitting at a really good weight, and I really like the way that I move. So
it's such an interesting perspective because guys like me and maybe a lot of people listening, they typically want to lose some poundage.
Yeah,
what's it like to put on weight? What goes into that? A lot of lifting, a lot of eating, and eating right?
Yeah, I mean, eating in general, a lot of eating for sure, but and the lifting, that kind of comes with being at KU. We're always going to lift, and we're going to lift heavy. So, a lot of eating, nutrition, weight room stuff, all that kind of comes into play, especially at this level.
So defense is an area of focus for a lot of people looking at KU for some growth this year. I know you guys worked hard last year, just kind of missed the mark on a few things, some close games. maybe weren't able to close out as well as you had hoped. What's some big areas of improvement you guys have been working on to make sure this defense takes a few steps forward this season?
I would for sure say emphasizing on finishing, regardless of if we're in practice or if we're in the weight room, training session. With how we finished games last year, it just wasn't up to par. It's not what we want. We know we can do better if we close out a few of those games. I mean, we would be in a bowl game back-to-back years if we could just close out one more game each. So for us, it's been emphasizing how we finish. So yeah, like I said, whether it's practice, training session, kind of putting us out there, making sure that we're executing when times are tough or whenever we need to execute late in the game, that can kind of translate over to game day.
A couple other your defensive teammates are here, Trey and Leroy, right? So, and hopefully I'm not forgetting everybody, but you guys all, I know, are very motivated, and like we said, defense is an area of emphasis, but what's it like having you guys as a core group of leaders? Both, you told me earlier you're kind of working on being a more vocal leader, but your leadership on the field probably speaks for itself, and you got good guys around you to help lead the charge, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's been a great journey working on our leadership, all three of us. I can't say all three of us were ever very vocal, especially when we first got here. So kind of taking that challenge upon each of us, because DK always tells us the defense will only go as far as we take it. So us as leaders trying to help lead our defense and our team as a whole, I think we're all kind of taking that responsibility like very personally, because I mean, what we do is going to determine how our season ends up. So I think we're taking that the right way, and I think we'll be happy with the results as long as we keep doing what we're doing.
Now the schedule this year is a little bit interesting. You got Mizzou week 2, and then you go all the way to London for a game against Arizona State, and then a bye, and then it's 9 straight weeks of grinding, right? Sure. So there's a lot of different preparations that go into making sure your body's in good shape, and obviously you can't control what happens game to game, but have you done anything to maybe help prepare you guys? Because you get one bye week, and it's coming off that long road trip across the pond, and then it's a bunch of ball.
Yeah, no, I think the adjustments to that will probably be made in season. The way we practice, the way we train in season will probably have to become a little bit different than what we're used to. Like last year, I think we would only play 3 games in a row, 4 in a row, and have a bye. So going 9 straight is definitely going to be a challenge on the body and the mind for sure. But I think we'll be able to handle it well, especially if we've got some good things going for us. But again, it comes back to us as leaders, making sure that our team is in the right headspace and in the right way physically, making sure we're recovered and making sure we're ready to go for the next game.
Now, offensively, a lot of guys to be excited about. And I know you guys face off against them, in spring ball and in practice and things like that all the time. What should fans be excited for about the offense that you face every day?
I think they should be excited about the multiplicity of it. I think Coach K does such a great job shifting and motioning and all the formations and crazy stuff that he does. I think it's just so fun for me, I guess, or anybody that enjoys football or understands the schematics of it, to see everything that goes on in just one play that he's running. There might be 70 plays, and he might never run the same formation twice. So I think that as a fan, I think you should just watch closely what the offense is doing each play and just see how different it really is.
Can you speak to what things like that do to a defense and how much more complicated it makes your job just in being prepared or trying to know what's coming?
Yeah, so every time you make a shift or something, that has to be communicated on the defensive side. So if he's got 2 tight ends or like a down and a wing, and he shifts them both over to one side, we have to check into something or communicate that. And then he shifts one back over, we got to check into something else and communicate that. So them being so multiple is just going to confuse defenses, really, get people thinking, and then the ball snapped, and then you're thinking about the formation or the adjustment, and then you're not playing football. So them getting people out of position, getting people thinking, people confused and stuff like that it's going to be so good for our offense and our team as a whole.
Now, what's it been like for you and your teammates to see the changes in the stadium? I know last year was really cool to get to see half of it, done, and now they're putting in work on the other side, and it won't be finished before the season this year, but you've gotten to watch that whole process kind of come together and some changes in facility as well. What has that experience been like, just to see the growth in the stadium?
It's been great. Definitely some rough times having no weight room or having no nutrition area or lunchroom, stuff like that. But I love the way that we handled everything and how the team came out of it. But it's been so exciting to see that stadium come from the ground up. I remember watching them tear it down, and now we've got hundreds and millions of dollars worth of steel beams over there and all that crazy stuff. So no, it's such a great experience to just kind of watch it, and then go from the old booth to the new booth is just a complete transformation. So it's been pretty cool to watch all that, and especially the facilities, all the stuff that we're in every day. I think we're in the top of the nation and all of that stuff. Our training room and weight room and locker room, everything is top tier, and you can't really beat it. So
absolutely. Again, Blake Herold is our guest, talking some Kansas Jayhawk football. And with the facilities and the changes to things on campus for your program, and obviously there's a lot of money that it takes to put that together. KU announced the jersey patch deal, that you guys are going to be sporting a new little red and blue, I guess, depending on your uniform color that day, because you guys have a bunch, but a new patch that's going to help bring a little bit of money into not just the football program, but to all Kansas athletics. How cool is it as an athlete to see, the university, the athletics department having and finding partners that are willing to invest in you and try to keep this thing moving forward and make sure you're at the top of things?
Yeah, no, I think it's huge that we're able to get that XRP, that patch on our jerseys. I think that speaks to the coaches and the administration for going out and getting the right people to invest in our program. And I'm so happy that we have great alumni and investors and everybody that invests in us as a football team and as an athletic department. You just can't be grateful enough for all those people that pour out all their time and their energy and their money into us just to see us win football games and stuff like that.
A lot of people want to see you guys win some football games. I'm excited to see you guys hit the field in, 58 days, I think is where we're at. We're getting closer. And, that means it's going to be here before you know it. This is kind of the kickoff to the lead off to the season. But what's something that you and your teammates have to work on just to over the next month or so to make sure you're ready to go week one?
A lot of keeping the body healthy, keeping the body in the right state to make sure that you got to go through camp. I mean, there's no way around fall camp. It's gonna do a number on your mind and your body, but just making sure that we're good and our bodies are right and our minds are right. Being able to execute on a daily basis, I think that's going to be huge for us as a team and a defense for sure.
Awesome, Blake. A couple quick hitters. Some fun stuff. Okay,
Sorry.
The most exciting defensive player for Kansas this year outside of yourself, because you're exciting enough, but who's one of your teammates that's the most exciting that people will be, having a blast watching this year?
I think Leroy Harris, guy here with us today. I think he's going to make some noise for sure with his size and speed and the ability that he has on the edge and out there. So.
All right, Kansas offensive line. Cam's here today, and I know he's very talented, but who's one offensive lineman you go up against all the time that's somebody to watch as well?
Calvin for sure, but also Amir Herring, great hands. I think that he's so good in the pass. I think he can mix up his sets and mix up hand placements and stuff like that. So I think he's an underrated player on our offensive line for sure, especially in the pass.
I think I called him Cam. I apologize for that. I knew it was Calvin. My bad. Too many guys around here. My head's in a blender. That too. Yeah. But one last thing for the fans that are still, like I said, getting very, very excited. Like one game. Let's pick a game. What game are you the most excited for? What can fans be most excited for one of those games on the schedule this year?
I'll just say LIU, the first game, being able to be in the booth with as renovated as it can be. I think just that first game always has some electricity to it for sure, and I think it's going to be a good momentum builder for us. If we can go out there and get the W, and then we move on to game 2 and take it game by game, and then before you know it, you're game 12 and you're playing for the chip. So
all right, Blake, I appreciate the time today, man. Enjoy your time. I know it's been a long day for you, but enjoy it. Take it all in, and we'll talk again soon.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. Blake Herold, Kansas Jayhawk defensive lineman. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this.
At Big 12 football media days, KU defensive tackle Blake Herold one-on-one with ESPN Wichita. Dan, he really burst on the scene last year, the pride of Shenandoah, Iowa. It was a year where Kansas thought going into it they were going to be relying heavily on the law firm of Withers and Dunn, and those guys certainly had their moments, but Blake Herold really, from an interior lineman standpoint, became the best of the bunch last year.
Yeah, I mean, he was kind of a surprise, right? I mean, you look at the two biggest surprises maybe on Kansas football last year, it was probably Blake Herold and Leroy Harris, and both those guys on the defensive line, both those guys are coming back, and you didn't think Blake Herold would get a lot of run last year because, like you said, you did have the law firm of Dunn and Withers. You also had Keenan Caldwell back there as well, and now Blake Herold kind of emerged as kind of one of the best. He had 43 total tackles last year, 19 solo tackles, 2 sacks. He had a forced fumble and a fumble recovery. Really impressive stuff out of Blake Herold from last year. And now he's going to be that stalwart number one guy anchoring down that defensive line, as well as him and Marcus Calvin. You have a couple of nice transfers who are coming in as well, but it's really, you're looking at the guy to be Blake Herold, to be that number one guy, that number one disruptor up in the middle in the trenches.
One of my favorite Jayhawks of all time is Keenan Caldwell.
Yes.
You would describe his game in one word?
How would I describe his game in one word? One word. Electric.
Yes, exactly. Keenan Caldwell, shout out. What a great dude. And he got 5 years in this program, and now he hands over the reins to a guy like Blake Herold. We know that defensive lineman, that's a position group that you're going to see a lot of rotation, but Blake Herold will be a starter. He's going to be an impact guy. Excited to see what he can do on the field this upcoming season. After this, it's time for our sports stock market.
Ding, 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 ding.
Catch you up to date on everything going on. ESPN Kansas City, kansasnation.com.
Yo, this is Paul Pierce, and you're watching Kansas Nation.
At the heart of a city lies the restless, the visionaries, the bold. From redefining events to guiding local youth, providing lifelines of industry, or reshaping wellness across the region, you deserve a financial partner that matches your ambition. At Meritrust, we handle the finances, so you can take care of the bold. Meritrust Credit Union. Business, banking, bold.
Get 0.9% APR or a $3,500 customer bonus on 2026 Atlas models. 2026 Atlas Cross Sport 3.9% APR or $3,500 customer bonus. 26 Tiguan models now 1.9% APR or a $2,500 customer bonus.
KU and K-State bring their bitter basketball rivalry to the basketball tournament in Topeka this summer. Kansas alumni team Jayhawks Hoops, led by Frank Mason III and Marcus Garrett, take on K-State alumni team Purple Rain, starring Michael Beasley and Xavier Sneed. Catch the action at Lee Arena in Topeka, July 22nd, as the Big 12 foes duke it out on the road to TBT's $2 million grand prize. Don't miss the chance to check out and support your favorite former Jayhawks in just a few weeks. Get your tickets now at tbthoops.com.
Hello, it's Mark Whitlow from Office Products Alliance. OPA is not just your local office products connection. We have expanded our offerings to network cabling installation, security cameras, door access, and IT services. We all need to keep pace with new technologies. You can trust a Kansas City company that has been your partner for 32 years. Check us out at opakc.com. Supporting local businesses and our community is more important than ever.
Welcome back. Dan, talk to everybody about Custom Lawn and Landscape
I
before
would love.
our ding, 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 ding.
I would love to tell you about Custom Lawn Landscape. Spring and summertime, they are made for backyard fun. If you're like Sean, you got kids running around through the grass. If you're like me, you got dogs chasing tennis balls or, eating my lawnmower, then you know that backyard fun is the best part about the spring and summer, and nothing ruins time outside faster than fleas, ticks, and chiggers. And that's why you can trust Custom Lawn Landscape to help keep your lawn beautiful and protected all season long. Their home insect control program helps defend your yard from those pesky bugs so your pets and loved ones can enjoy the outdoors more comfortably and safely. And right now, when you sign up for the season, your first application is 100% free, Sean. You heard me right. I said free for your first application. It's a simple way to take back your backyard this spring and summer. You can visit CustomLawn.com to schedule your first free application with a seasonal insect control program. Custom Lawn and Landscape, helping you love your lawn without the bugs.
Sports stock market. Let's start with the big news regarding the NCAA tournament. As you know, Dan, I have a decent list of things that I love in the world. And, you know, my daughters.
Sure.
My wife.
Yeah. You
other members of my family.
Wife, what's her name?
Other members of my family as well. But
Sure.
the NCAA tournament,
Of course,
is up there near the top. And we have officially found the other opening round site for the NCAA tournament, 27 and 28. And it is the biggest city in God's favorite state.
That's right. It's the biggest city in Kansas, down in Wichita. Stocks up on Koch Industries. Wichita State. They're going to be hosting first round of the NCAA tournament. This is big news, I think, for 27 and 28 because of the fact that now you have a local, and granted, Kansas has gotten the short end of the stick. Maybe short end of the stick is not the right way to put this, but Kansas has not played well enough to be able to get a relatively regional site because, you know, you go to Providence or you go to San Diego and you're a 4 seed or a 7 seed or whatever it may be. If Kansas can get back to that line of being 3 and up, you have a really good shot in terms of, you know, staying local and staying in the state, which I absolutely love.
Right, but this is for the expansion round.
Oh, this is for the expansion round.
So
Never mind.
This is when it goes from 68 to 76 teams. So Wichita is going to get the hosting rights of the opening round of the 27 and 28 Division I men's basketball championships alongside Dayton. So both teams on the Tuesday and Wednesday of the NCAA tournament right after Selection Sunday will get 3 games each day. Okay. So that, of course,
was incredibly wrong about that.
Necessitated by the decision in May to expand the tournament from 68 to 76. Yeah, Wichita has hosted, and I'm sure will continue in the future to host first and second round games. But in terms of this new opening round, which is taking place of the first 4, which is now officially dead, Wichita and Dayton. I was thinking maybe they would have this out west somewhere because in terms of staggering the game times, but you know, why not keep it
in the middle,
somewhat local?
Makes sense.
As Dayton is, and again, Kansas and Kansas City, the Midwest in general, they're all big basketball towns, and you get a lot of people. I mean, we see in the Big 12 tournament every year. The Big 12 has expanded west, they've expanded east. The Big 12 tournament stays in Kansas City because Kansas City does a great job, and because there's a great following, not only of the local teams, but other people like coming to KC because KC does it right. But yeah, Wichita has hosted tournaments all the way back to the 1956 season. And just a lot to like about this. And again, 3 games hosted by both Wichita and Dayton on both Tuesday and Wednesday of the NCAA tournament. So very exciting. There's going to be 6 games each day instead of 2 games. I like this because it's more basketball before you get down to 64 teams beginning Thursday. Thursday and Friday will remain the best 2 days in the calendar year.
You know, and then once you whittle it down to 64 teams, that almost feels like the perfect number, right?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, because
you don't think 64 seems like the perfect number when it gets whittled down to
on Tuesday, Wednesday. The other reason that makes sense, honestly, as I'm thinking through this, is you don't know what part of the country the play-in teams will come from.
Sure.
So make it somewhat fair.
Absolutely.
Right? To where if you've got Washington State and you've got Florida State.
UCF, or something.
We'll see in Wichita.
That makes
sense. We'll see in Dayton. So, because you don't have a big turnaround. Selection Sunday is Sunday at 5 p.m., and you might be playing on Tuesday. So you can't exactly, send San Diego State to Philly if Philly were chosen as one of these. So, I'm excited about that. Good for the state of Kansas
I guess
getting one of the opening round sites.
In a world where everything is stretched out all the way across the United States, I mean, it certainly makes sense to have it in a centralized location like Wichita State. And Charles Koch Arena is actually a really nice arena. I've been there a few times, and it's kind of perfect for hosting something like this. So, I really like this. And if you want to watch some high-level basketball in the NCAA tournament in the, now new opening round, no longer the first 4, but the new opening round. Are they going to change it to like the first 12 or whatever?
I think so. I think opening round, and then you're going to have first round, second round.
That's so stupid.
That's the plan.
Opening round, first round, second round.
Yep.
I mean, just call it the first round. And,
and
just call the other. I don't know. Whatever.
Next up, I want to hear about your fantasy football team.
Yes. Oh, stocks up on your wildest fantasies. Yahoo Sports, they are starting a new college fantasy football league. This is awesome.
I'm surprised it's taken this long.
Me too. And there have been other. So this isn't a new concept because I know of people who have done college football, college fantasy football before, but it's all been like pen and paper and like throughout their own thing. Now Yahoo Sports, one of the biggest fantasy football, platforms, I guess, if you will, is now starting their own college fantasy football league. I love it. Now they are going down to Power 4 only. Power 4 plus Notre Dame, which I hate, whatever. Just include them in it. It's fine. Power 4 plus Notre Dame. Now, I do have an issue with this because I feel like either A, you should go all in on the chaos and make it all FBS, right? I think that would be a lot of fun because you can find those diamonds in the rough and find those.
That'd be way more fun.
But to make it more appealing to the non-sickos, like, because you and I are sickos and we like watching Maction and all that different kind of stuff. But to make it more appealing to people, I understand that, make it Power 4 and there's a lot more games to follow and different things like that. Also, I think they should make it Power 4 versus Power 4 because you do have the bye games where all of a sudden you have an Alabama third-string wide receiver go off for 200 yards against the Citadel, right? I mean, it's just you have those bye games, which are always really weird. I think you should just make it like maybe conference play only. Now, it's a shorter season. I do understand that. Or not even just conference play only, but like just Power 4 versus Power 4. I think that'd be better. But I do like the fact that they have whittled it down to Power 4 plus Notre Dame. This seems fun. I already actually texted my fantasy football commissioner in one of my leagues to kick the tires on this and see if we should go ahead and do this. So I'm really excited. I think we're gonna go for it. Hell, we might even make our own Kansas Nation College Fantasy Football League. Why not?
Maybe. I need some convincing. I need there to be more teams.
What if we put it out there and have fans sign up?
That'd be fun.
I think that'd be fun. So you and I versus like some of the fans of the shows, and we have a college fantasy football league. I think it'd be great.
All right, what's next here? San Antonio Spurs. This is a really catchy story.
Man, so stock's down on Jacob Toby, but stock's up on the Spurs play-by-play job. So San Antonio Spurs broadcaster and play-by-play announcer Jacob Toby was fired over this past week because he was caught by his girlfriend cheating. Not only was he cheating on his girlfriend of, 6 years? So girlfriend of 6 years, but he was cheating on her with the sister of Lindy Waters. Tough. That's really tough, man.
It's tough because he's on the team.
That's the thing. Lindy Waters is on the team, and you have the play-by-play guy cheating on his girlfriend with your sister. The reason that this all came about is because Jacob Toby's girlfriend at the time of 6 years got on his Instagram late at night and posted on his Instagram story, said, "This is my girlfriend of 6 years, but I cheated on her with Lauren Waters at Lauren K. Waters. So feel free to continue following me if you really think I am a good guy because I am not smiley face."
Yes, well, obviously it wasn't him that posted that.
Obviously it was not him. That was his girlfriend who posted that on his Instagram story. Also, she posted another picture of him and Lauren K. Waters kissing at like a photo booth or whatever. Not good. He got fired for this, which I saw Colin Cowherd saying something about how like, I didn't know you can get fired for cheating on your girlfriend. He was cheating on his girlfriend with a player's sister. I mean, that in and of itself is incredibly problematic right there. So I understand, like, if you cheat on your girlfriend, whatever, but, like, Mike Vrabel still, by the way, has a job. I understand Colin Cowherd's angle there, but at the same time, it was with a player's sister. That right there is a conflict of interest, and sure, I can see why they would maybe fire him. That is a crazy story.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Classic offseason story, by the way.
It is
one of those things. Like if this would have happened,
what the hell was the off-season story last year?
Oh, was it Steve Smith?
No, it was the
Steve Smith. That was a big one.
No, I can't even think.
If this would have happened,
band, it was at a concert.
The CEO and
yes.
then that one. Yeah.
Who was it?
Oh, it was at a Coldplay concert.
Coldplay, that's right.
A Coldplay concert.
Yeah, it was the CEO. He was caught cheating.
Classic Aussies. Like, if this were to happen in October, this wouldn't be a story. But since it's happening in like mid-July,
I don't know. October's the beginning of the NBA
people
season.
People are latching. Well, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
But people are latching their talons in on this just because it's one of those classic things.
Yes.
Hey, stocks down on Kirk Risa. My goodness, guys, this is absolutely insane. So we talked about this. Kirk Risa was arrested by the FBI. Big story, right? There's rumblings about it being for point shaving. Turns out it wasn't for point shaving. It was for way, way worse stuff than that. So Kirk Risa, 25. This is from the FBI, by the way. The FBI is tweeting about this, the official FBI page. Kirk Risa, 25, was arrested this week on 5 counts of wire fraud. Risa played basketball at Arizona, West Virginia, and Kentucky, and Cincinnati. According to court documents from 2022 through 2026.
And take your time on this because this is insane.
This is crazy. According to court documents from 2022 through 2026, Risa allegedly carried out a scheme to obtain nearly $2.2 million from multiple victims using false representation, fabricated identities, and deceptive communication. The indictment alleges that Risa posed as various individuals, including fictional contacts and family members, and falsely claimed that he and his family were in danger and that his mother needed cancer treatment or that family property required urgent financial support. So this guy was literally reaching out to people saying, hey, my mom has cancer, or I am actually Kirk Risa's mom and I have cancer. Send me money now. Or, oh, hey, my family property is about to be taken. I need you to send me money right now. This guy literally had like a scheme going on where he was reaching out to people and being like, hey, send me money. He got $2.2 million. 5 counts of wire fraud.
That's a lot of stupid people.
A lot of stupid people. Well, there's a lot of stupid people out there.
Oh, yeah. My God.
Getting caught in one of these scams.
It's interesting how this story has changed because it started and people assumed it was basketball related. It's not even sports related, and it wasn't just when he was at West Virginia, which I think was the original thought.
Yeah.
Arizona, WVU, Kentucky, Cincinnati. The entire time he was in college, 2022 to 2026, he was doing this. I have no idea how he got away with this for so long.
I don't know.
But yeah, FBI, man, putting out the official statement.
I mean, you know it's legit when like the FBI is tweeting about you. Like that's unbelievable. Like there's no way he's getting out of this. It's just insane. I really thought it was going to be one of those like, oh, he's point shaving or whatever. But how much was he making in NIL? I mean, he was probably making a good chunk of change in NIL,
decent,
right? Because every time he entered the transfer portal, he was one of the top names. I mean, that's not crazy to think, but no, he was out there just on his laptop scamming old ladies, being like, "Hey, I need cancer treatment. Send me money." Are you kidding me? Yeah, he was making up fictional family members.
Real family members, fictional people, crazy.
This is just one of the craziest stories I've ever. Like, dude, you're not making enough money getting NIL from Kentucky. Like, you should be fine. But instead, no, he's like, nope. I need to scam people into sending me $2.2 million. Unbelievable stuff. Kirk Risa, bad person. Hey, stock is up on homeless Heisman winners. Do you see this? They're selling the Heisman house.
I did see that.
So the Nissan Heisman house, if you're not aware, is a Nissan thing, and it's always a fun commercial, by the way. I always do love it. But it's the Heisman house is all the Heisman live together in this one big house in Pasadena. It's called the Heisman house. They're selling it for, get this, $32 million.
Nice chunk of change.
Good chunk of change. Now where are all those Heisman going to live? It's unfortunate.
I know. That's a bummer because they're all going to be homeless now.
I like to imagine a world where like Barry Sanders and Tim Tebow and Devontae Smith
they live together, they're roommates, they wake up, they put their jerseys on.
Yeah, they
go outside, throw around the pigskin.
Yeah. No, you know how much fun it would be to actually live in a Heisman house? Oh my gosh, that'd be amazing. They'll like sleep in bunk beds. They'll snore in unison like the Three Stooges, like I think this is so funny.
It's a good commercial.
Shout out to the Heisman house. But yeah, it's selling for $32 million. Only 7 bedrooms, by the way. And
bunk beds, like you said.
Also, by the way, it was the original Wayne Manor in the original Batman series.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
It's kind of an old house. It's kind of fun. But $32 million. It was sold like a year ago for like $20 million. So maybe they'll still use it for the Heisman House commercials. But, I mean, it is unfortunate. I mean, where is Tim Tebow going to live?
Right.
I don't know.
He's going to be out on the streets, man.
Poor guy. Hey, stocks up on outdoor basketball because apparently, according to John Rothstein as well as some other people. So John Rothstein broke this news.
The real John Rothstein?
The real John.
Fake
This is the real John Rothstein.
Okay.
Virginia and Vanderbilt, they're going to be playing in an outdoor exhibition game on September 27th at Credit One Stadium in Charleston, South Carolina.
Let's go.
The Citadel will meet Charleston in the other game. So there's going to be a double header in an outdoor stadium in September in South Carolina. That's going to be hot.
It'll be toasty.
That'll be a little toasty.
Hopefully it's toasty and not rainy.
Yes. This is going to be my most boomer thing in the world. So actually there's two different events that are going to be outside basketball because Xavier, Cincinnati, Dayton, and Ohio State, they're going to be playing a doubleheader on Center Court, which is the home of the Cincinnati Open tennis court. That's going to be up in Cincinnati. That's going to be on October 7th. So September in Charleston, South Carolina, hot. October in Cincinnati, that's going to be a little cold. That's going to be a little chilly. So this is my most boomer take of all time. Just keep it indoors.
Yeah.
Guys, keep it indoors. I remember when they did it on the
I mean, I'm sure it's money related somehow because as we know, there's two things in this world.
Do you remember when they did it on the aircraft carrier?
Yes. It was cool. The jerseys were dreadful, but
the jerseys were dreadful. It was cool, but also like the court was getting really slick because there was like all like water getting on the court, and it was just like an awful.
Try this on for size.
Sure.
In terms of the court.
Yeah.
LED.
Oh,
court.
That's good. That's
glass.
Good.
Yes.
There's got to be a company out there who
rotating
could do
logos.
That's never been done before, right?
I'm telling you.
Never once has that been done before. That's good. Write that down.
Opportunity for advertisers.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
Really cool looking introductions.
That seems like something that just would not go wrong.
I agree. I think everybody would love it. And indoors.
Yes, and indoors. Again, keep it indoors. That's my most boomer take. That is the most like old man yelling at club. Keep basketball indoors. That's my one thing. Unless you're playing on a blacktop like asphalt, it's going to be stupid.
Unless you're on the playground. Yeah.
Even if there's 30 seconds of rain, it's going to completely destroy that court.
Oh yeah.
It's going to completely destroy it. It's so stupid, and it's just so dumb. Again, Cincinnati in October, very cold. September in South Carolina, very hot. It's going to be rough. Stocks up on family legacy. I don't know if you saw this. Tom Dundon. He's the owner of the. It's good, yeah. I like that little Law and Order SVU. Tom Dundon. He's the owner of the Carolina Hurricanes. They wound up getting the Stanley Cup engraved, and that's what everybody does. They get the Stanley Cup engraved with everybody's names on them and whatever. Tom Dundon put 7 family members on the Stanley Cup trophy before anybody else from the team. Him, his wife, and his 5 children, many of whom are very young children. And then everybody else for the team. I understand if it's like a Lamar Hunt and Clark Hunt thing, where it's like, hey, I'll put Clark Hunt's name on it if he's like involved with it or whatever. But like you're putting like a second grader's name on the Stanley Cup trophy.
I mean, he can do what he wants.
He can do what he wants, but he also, I mean, they ran out of space, so they omitted the equipment manager, Bob Gorman. Bob Gorman, by the way, has been the equipment manager for the Carolina Hurricanes since they were the Whalers back in 1976. And guess what? Bob Gorman's name is nowhere to be found on the Stanley Cup because he had to make room for his 5 children who did nothing for the team.
That does suck.
I don't like it. I think it's dumb. I think it's bad. Again, he owns the team. He can do what he wants.
That's 50 years, though.
If you have a son or a daughter who works for the Carolina Hurricanes, who is an integral part in the front office, that's fine. But his wife doesn't do a damn thing for the team. His 5 kids don't do a damn thing for the team. And those are the first 7 names you see on it. Oh, little Jackson Dundon. Could have done it without him. Yes, you could have. He does not deserve to be on the Stanley Cup trophy. You know who does? Bob Gorman, the equipment manager. Since they were the Whalers in 1976.
I'll tell you that much. Stock is down on Bob Gorman.
Last one here. This is a
personal one for you.
very fun story that has been nobody. I don't know if anybody really knows about it. I know it got put in the. Some people know about this. So I was tipped off to this because I play in a kickball league on Sundays. Right? It's a KVKL. It is a charity kickball league. Now, a lot of you may know a name. Bryson Stricker. Bryson Stricker was a former Scoops guy, still a little bit in it. He works for Bleacher Report, lives in Lawrence, KU guy through and through, Hawks by 17, whatever that stuff is. You guys know who Bryson Stricker is. Bryson Stricker also plays in this kickball league. Bryson Stricker, apparently this happened last week, got into it with an umpire so badly that he was tossed and then suspended for a game this upcoming week. So Bryson Stricker, a.k.a. Bri Strick, as you guys may know him on Twitter, he is suing the charity kickball league for suspending him for a game. I have the actual legal documents stating this. It was sent in my KVKL group chat. And by the way, it's very funny because nobody in the KVKL knows who he is. They just think he's some random crazy guy. I'm like, oh, I know exactly who this is. This is the Scoops guy, the former Scoops guy for KU football. I mean, this is one of the most unbelievable things I've ever seen because his claim is he paid to play in this kickball league. They suspended him for a game for being rambunctious and yelling at an umpire. His claim is, hey, I paid to be in this league. You guys are not allowing me to play in this league, which is for charity, mind you. So you guys are essentially stealing my money. Again, charity. So you guys are stealing my money. So now I'm going to sue you for upwards almost $10,000 is damages of $10,000. Now, if they let him play this upcoming Sunday, I will let you know, by the way. I'm going to be there on Sunday. I will let you know if he plays. Because if he plays, he's going to drop the lawsuit and everything's going to be fine. But if not, he's going to sue a charity kickball league for not letting him play because he was tossed out for being irrational and yelling at an umpire.
Stay up to date on Rock Chalk Sports for everything you need to know.
This is
Dan's
great.
Charity
you
kickball
got kicked
league.
you got kicked out of a kickball game, out of a charity kickball league, and you're suing a charity kickball league?
Hey, Mike Boynton named head basketball coach at the University of Michigan.
Look at this.
How about that? Third year in the Wolverines program. They only
right.
gave him 2 years.
Okay.
So a 2-year program, but the former Oklahoma State head coach gets the reins as Dusty May has moved on. An interesting hire by them. Only 2 years, like I said, so they kind of want to wait and see what happens.
Well, you know how well that worked out at Oklahoma State.
I actually didn't hate him. I didn't hate Mike
You
Boynton.
didn't do anything.
But he gave KU credit when they deserved it, which I appreciated. Hey, with Jayhawk checking from Central Bank, Jayhawk fans can carry their pride wherever they go with the official Jayhawk debit card, a simple way to show school spirit every day. Central Bank is proud to support the traditions and communities that bring people together. As the proud community banking partner of the University of Kansas, Central Bank is committed to serving Jayhawk fans with banking options designed for real life, on campus, at work, and everywhere in between. Learn more about Jayhawk checking and the exclusive debit card at jayhawkchecking.com. jayhawkchecking.com. Central Bank, the proud community banking partner of the University of Kansas. Member FDIC. After this, Shreyas Laddha, Kansas City Star, in studio here on Rock Chalk Sports. ESPN Kansas City, kansasnation.com.
Hey, this is Sasha Khan, and you're watching kansasnation.com.
At the heart of a city lies the restless, the visionaries, the bold. From redefining events to guiding local youth, providing lifelines of industry, or reshaping wellness across the region, you deserve a financial partner that matches your ambition. At Meritrust, we handle the finances so you can take care of the bold. Meritrust Credit Union. Business, banking, bold.
Jayhawk fans, if you haven't started to follow Kansas Nation on social, now is the time. Facebook, Instagram, X, it's Kansas Nation, and online at kansasnation.com for the latest news and information on your Kansas Jayhawks. Interviews, news conferences, daily and weekly shows, podcasts. Find it all at Kansas Nation and kansasnation.com. KansasNation.com is presented by Game Day Men's Health Lawrence. Step up your game with Game Day Men's Health Lawrence.
If you're talking trucks, you're talking Lewisburg Ford. With over 100 new F-150s on the lot, Lewisburg Ford is your truck headquarters. Right now, get up to $13,500 off MSRP on the new 2025 Ford F-150 XLT or 2.9% financing. Lewisburg Ford has been awarded the 2025 Ford President's Award. They are the #1 F-150 dealer in KC 9 years running, so you know they'll treat you right. Lewisburg Ford and LewisburgFord.com.
Sean Kellerman, Dan Courtwright back with you here for Rock Chalk Sports. Thanks for joining us. Hope everybody's got a good weekend on tap, a fun weekend. Got to tell you about Crown Automotive, our founding partners here at Kansas Nation. You can give them a visit on South Iowa in Lawrence if you're in the market for a new Toyota Volkswagen. They've also got a great selection of used vehicles. Unbelievably kind, friendly service and sales staff over there at Crown. They're, of course, led by Miles Schneider, the Lawrence Citizen of the Year. If you're not local, visit them online at crownautomotive.com. But if you can swing by, tell them the guys at Kansas Nation sent you. All right, time now to bring Shreyas Laddha back on the show. The boys are back in town as all three of us are here, and it's great to get together. Shreyas, he comes over from the Kansas City Star. Lots to talk about. I mean, we've got the XRP Ripple partnership with KU Athletics. I don't know if you want to comment on that first, but want to talk some summer league, little KU football chatter as well. But yeah, that's kind of the big story. Monster Energy, they are going to now be massive partners with the Big 12 Conference. And then KU, the day after Monster Energy and the Big 12 announced their partnership, KU announces partnership with Ripple to where the XRP patch will be on the men's and women's basketball jerseys, the football jerseys as well. Any major thoughts on this, or kind of in line with us in terms of not shocking that this is going to happen?
I'm not shocked, but I will say the Monster Energy patch is the worst business deal in the history of business deals.
$20 million
so
for
ugly, man.
Oh, that too.
And $20 million for 16 schools.
I heard it's going to be green too.
Yeah,
they're not even going to match Pantones.
Yeah. And I'm like, and it's going to be on Allen Fieldhouse. It's going to be in David Wood, the Kansas Memorial. Can you not, I said this on the KCSM podcast. It's one thing to have a deal, to make money, to be called the Big 12 Monster Conference, the Big 12 Monster Conference Championship, whatever. It's another thing to get royally screwed. Would the SEC, the Big 10, heck, even the ACC pick up the phone for $20 million?
No.
No. Brett Yormark obviously has a buddy that works in Monster, and they have a sweetheart deal. That's the only conclusion I can come up with. Somebody said that Monster has to, advertise the Big 12 in 100 countries. Who the hell cares what Monster has to advertise? What brand equity does Monster have that I want to buy their products? First of all, I'm not even an energy drink guy. I haven't had energy drink in years. But I'm not buying Monster Energy. I'm going to Red Bull. That's the one that has brand equity in my mind.
See, this is all targeted towards Sean, by the way. Sean's a big Monster Energy guy.
He looks like a big energy guy. I'm not gonna
Elijah
lie.
and Tyler know this, and I hope the Big 12 is not listening. I'm a Rockstar sugar-free. You always assume I'm Monster.
Zero Cal is the way to go.
Rockstar sugar-free.
I'm not going to lie with you. I tried one recently because I had to drive to the airport at 3:30 a.m. I took a sip, and I kept the rest in my fridge. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just chew some gum.
Yeah.
I did not like the taste of that. But
which one was it?
It was the zero sugar. Because I'm not going to drink my, whatever. And I was like, I'm not going to drink my calories. It's zero sugar only, okay? I'm a little higher in the XCRP. They're making a significant amount of money. I was told from a source. I knew about it a week beforehand, and I was like, I think it's the first of its kind, which it is.
Yeah.
Cryptocurrency. I said this on the KCSM pod yesterday. It's I'm a lot higher on it for two reasons. One, the money is significantly more than you're getting from Monster. And two, more importantly, the guy who's the CEO of Ripple is a Kansas alum that has already donated a crap ton of money. $35 million for the David Booth Kansas Memorial Stadium. I think $1.5 million when they made a NIL fund, the Mass Strategies back in 2022. So it's kind of like the devil you know versus the devil you don't, right? Like I personally think like I'm not a crypto guy. I don't know if you guys are crypto guys.
I don't know anything about it.
I had Bitcoin in 2020. It's just kind of sitting in my stock portfolio. I don't really know what to do with it, to be honest.
That's probably pretty good.
Yeah,
right?
well, I mean, like, it's not even a full singular Bitcoin. I just bought, like, a couple $100 worth, and now it's worth, like, $1,500. I'm like, well, that's cool, I guess.
Yeah,
but, like, you know, I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, I personally think if you're, like, a crypto guy, or if you're into this like NFTs and stuff like that, I think you need a hobby. Personally, I think it's time to get into something else. Sorry to NFT crypto guys out there, but get a life. It's like people who are super into AI. I think I kind of put them in the same boat. I'm like, God, man, touch some grass.
Trends
Let's touch some grass, guys. Touch some grass. Look, if you look into that Ripple company, they're clearly some things that are not great there. They have campaigned for the current president a lot. However you feel about that, I'm not going to make a comment on that. And they are clearly like involved with potential rug pulls. I don't even know you guys, how much you pay attention to rug pulls. You know what rug pulls are?
I barely know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I only know because
I'm so stupid. I'm the most financially illiterate person
this
you'll
is
ever
not
meet.
financial advice, man.
No, fair. Yeah.
If you're smart, you're just investing the same 5 stocks like everybody else.
Sure.
Like that's what I do.
Right.
I just ask my finance friends. I'm like, what do I should invest in? And they tell me. I'm like, okay, monkey do monkey. It's kind of how I am. Like, but yeah, I don't know. It's weird, but this is the new age of college athletics. Can't wait to have bumper-to-bumper logos one day. Anything for the NIL, folks. Anything for the NIL. They're making a significant amount of NIL money on this XRP deal. And drink Monster Energy. This is not a sponsored.
Right. Yeah. I mean, but again, that's the world we're moving towards, and I kind of explained it like this. It's like that's the way that you keep up with the Joneses in this world.
And that's what I was told from the KU source I talked to. That's what Goff talked about.
Yeah.
Like, clearly, the bottom line is money that helps the student athletes, and as long as it's semi-ethical, it's good enough.
Right, absolutely. And plus, again, they're matching the Pantones.
Yeah.
Like, that's what makes
that's huge.
The green Monster, it's not going to look good, but you get the crimson and the blue.
I don't understand why Monster's not matching it, because, like, they can go match. Like, Monster has, like, 100 flavors or something,
and, like, all different colors on the cans.
Yeah, like, they clearly probably have a Jayhawk.
They could do that,
blue, whatever.
Right. No, absolutely. I mean, it's interesting. It's gonna be weird, but it's gonna be one of those things you just kind of forget about, like the FNBO logo. I wasn't crazy about it, and then after a while, I just kind of forgot about it.
Yeah, was the FNBO logo on the actual jersey? It's not on the jersey.
No, it's not on the jersey, but it's on the court.
So we're gonna definitely see
it's
that.
Green.
It's ugly. The XRP thing is a little less whatever.
Yeah.
But the green Monster
It's not
logo,
big. It's not flashy.
I
it's
also
not.
just don't understand. This is like such a stupid brand associated with the Big 12. I'm like, couldn't they get like literally anyone else?
Well, I remember they were talking about it with Allstate, probably
that's
2.5
brand.
maybe 2 years ago, and they were like, "Oh, it's gonna be like $1 billion thing," and then all of a sudden it's Monster and it's $20 million. You're like, oh.
Yeah, well,
feels
why
like
don't they
a
get like CeraVe or
step
something like that?
down,
We're gonna
maybe.
just have like interesting brands. Why don't we have like skin moisturizer, facial company, just CeraVe or something like that?
The Jones barbecue foot massage.
Yeah, I don't know, something
no,
like what brand equity do you want associated with Monster? Like, it's like kind of like the Big 12 with the WWE. I like the WWE, but like the overlapping parts between a WWE fan and a person who drinks Monster is a little too much overlap.
Yeah. that Venn diagram's a circle.
Yeah, it's a circle. It's a circle.
For sure. Shreyas, want to talk a little actual sports with you, I guess. As you know, you've been, Darren Peterson, follower this entire time throughout. Well, I mean, you've been covering him. You're the guy. In terms of what you've seen from him in the summer league, which the first few games were awesome, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he put up 28 in one game. There was another game he had 12 assists, and then you watch yesterday's game against AJ DeBonsa. 8 turnovers, 9 fouls. He still managed to have 24 points, but I guess, what are you seeing out of Darren as of right now? And then maybe comment on some of the other guys too, because we're seeing Trey White get some run. We saw KJ Adams get some run. I mean, it's been kind of fun to watch this summer league.
Well, Darren, for the most part, looks pretty much as expected. I mean, he stunk up the joint yesterday, but so did AJ. They were having a homage to Kobe out there with how many shots they missed, and he scored 24 for Kobe. It was one of those things that, look, did you see the comment of him talking about afterwards? I was like,
Darren. I did. I didn't look too far. I don't think
it's that deep.
So I think it was taken out of context.
Clip makes it not that deep. Yeah. When it's blasted over social media in all capital letters, giant font, then
I think it was.
I think he was saying he didn't experience being on the ball as much, as opposed to not experiencing the happiness at Kansas.
Clearly, he wants to be a point guard, but he's not ready for that. He had nine turnovers this game.
8 turnovers.
He had like 8 turnovers the first game or 2. He was really good the second game with 12 assists. He's gonna have a lot of growing pains. I think he's looked as advertised. He looks, candidly, those first 2 games, I was just sitting there like, man, what a shame we didn't get this.
Absolutely.
Kansas outside of like 4 games in the first half. I'm like, I was texting buddy. I was like, we'll never forget Oklahoma State first half. We'll never forget the BYU first half.
Texas Tech
that Louisville first half.
Oh, the Texas Tech second half.
Ending.
Oh my gosh.
We'll never forget TCU before he had to sit out overtime because of cramps.
That's a forgotten about one too. He's good in that TCU
I just think about it. I was like, there's just like the Darren Peterson experience at Kansas was like specific moments and halves, and never a full game outside of like maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Which is a dang shame. He's gonna be really, really good in the NBA. I think he's gonna be a superstar. I said as long as he's healthy, he's gonna be I think the best guy in the class. AJ looks really good too. I think his debut yesterday was great. I'm excited for them, but also the guys I'm excited for, Trey White. He's done pretty good. He had 9 rebounds the other day. I was like, oh, okay, Trey, I see you. You don't see him getting this thing. Like, he looked comfortable out there. It's kind of what you need to see from these guys, right? Like, they're contributing when they're out there. KJ Adams has his first dunk. I was like, that was kind of a nice dunk for somebody who hasn't played basketball in like 16,
coming off of torn
months.
Achilles.
It was a good dunk. DeJuan Harris is playing some summer league. I don't know how much he's played, but it's good to see him on a roster. Like, I'm rooting for all these guys because they're all good dudes, and you hope and wish them the best. But the Darren Peterson summer league experience, honestly, has just been to me the biggest. Man, what could have been at Kansas?
Yeah. Zeke Mayo, also a guy who's playing for the Hawks. Do you like his opportunity? I mean, so many guys on a summer league roster, but he played 14 minutes the other day, had 11 points, 3 of 4 threes. I mean, kind of the same deal with White. Like, you got to be who you are, which is guys who can hit threes. Do they legitimately have a chance, those two in particular, to make an NBA roster? Because the other guys we like too, but it seems like the 3-point shooting ability is most crucial.
I think Trey has a bigger chance than Zeke, mostly because of the height. Like, he can give them something besides just shooting if needed. I think Zeke is like that perennial like G League overseas type player.
Yeah.
Like, maybe he gets called in and out, but like, I just don't see Zeke Mayo as a guy who's going to be playing in the NBA like real minutes unless he drastically improves his shooting / he can't get him off the floor because he scores from everywhere. I just don't think he is that at this point in time.
Yeah. Shreyas Laddha from Kansas City Star, also from KCSN Pahey Podcast with our good friend Nick Springer. Question for you, because I saw your clip from KCSN talking about the Kansas football team and their wins. And first of all, how dare you? Second of all, I mean, do you legitimately – like, the clip was essentially like you don't see 6 wins on this schedule, which – you can look at it. I mean, we've been doing a breakdown
I don't know if I
of
see 5 wins.
Yeah,
I have and I have a follow up. So you can probably, because you'll probably tie this in. Are you saying, because I saw the same clip where not a lot of confidence and a lot of wins, are you saying that it doesn't matter who the quarterback is, the ceiling's as low as you're saying it is?
I think so.
Okay.
I think my floor for them is 3 wins.
Okay.
And my ceiling is 6, maybe 7 wins.
Yeah.
But like,
they can sneak
candidly,
one out,
guys, the talent on the last 2 years' teams were just better that went 5 and 7. Why would I have confidence in this team when the quarterback play? We don't even know who. Okay. I think it's Cole Ballard. I think you guys think it's Cole Ballard.
Yeah.
I think he has the slight lead. We all know that. That said, we don't know who it is. But to me, Cole Ballard is such a quarterback. Yeah. Like, I think they're going to be on the bottom half of the conference in that 10 to 16 range. Andy Kolnicki's probably pulling off a win or 2 that they don't deserve to have. maybe the transfers are much better than expected, and the running game carries them, and I look like an idiot because they win 8 or something like that.
That'd be great.
And I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I absolutely could be wrong. I said it.
Yeah.
I could have egg on my face.
Well, so
we will provide the egg.
Yeah,
we will
you can
buy the
provide,
egg
you
for
can
you.
provide the egg.
Right. The question I was going to ask is essentially about Kotelnicki is like how much, because you had said it, the talent has been better, but the offensive coordination has not been as good. So bringing back Kotelnicki, I mean, how many wins is that worth in your eyes?
Probably 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And I'd probably have them at 5 wins if I were to predict them right now. 5 wins. But they've been 5 wins for the last 2 years. I mean, guys, look at the schedule. Where do you see 6 wins?
So, I'm glad you said that because, I mean, you're 2-0 against Long Island and Middle Tennessee.
Yes.
Right?
I give them UCF. That's my 3rd win there.
We were talking about this a little bit earlier. So there's your 3 wins. We'll call UCF. Mizzou, ASU. I'm saying if you want to, since they're close to each other on the schedule, I'm saying if you want to go to a bowl, you got to go 1-1 in those 2 games.
I agree.
So if that happens, then you've got 4 wins. At Utah, at K-State, you're going to be decent underdogs, both those games. Baylor at home is one I look at. I mean, Baylor is a team who is led by a head coach who's got to be on the hot seat.
Yeah.
They don't have Sawyer Robertson back. They've got a lot of playmakers, and
that's one. But I will say, historically, Baylor has kicked KU's butt the last 15
I was at the
years.
game. I was at the game where RG3, we were up like 31-3 or 38-3 on him, and somehow lost.
Jesus.
At TCU on Halloween, TCU, you don't really know. I mean, they were in the college football national championship not that long ago, lost 63-7. I
That was
think.
a great game. I enjoyed it.
Shout
Had a
out.
lot of fun, guys.
Georgia delivered on the minus 55.5. At West Virginia and at Oklahoma State, I think people are way too high on Oklahoma State. I do. And
I think so
Nick
too.
Springer's at the top of that list. Nick Springer's acting like he's like, oh, I get it, Mestamaker and a new head coach, and we have to face him at the end.
You can
but
talk yourself into 7 wins, and you can be my guest.
I can always talk myself into 12.
Yeah, I've overrated the Kansas Jayhawks the last 2 years. I will not be doing that
you won't
this
ever do
year.
that again.
No, look, the year they went 5-7 the first year, I had them losing 2 games.
Yeah, that's
this year.
So did a
past
lot
year,
of people. Yeah.
This past year, I was like, you know what? I see 7, and they start off 4-2. They're looking good, and they just absolutely collapsed in the last 6 games. I think they won 1 out of the last remaining 6 or something.
Yeah.
It was horrible. They didn't even make a bowl game. And Lance has talked about like these 4th quarter defeats and these comebacks and preventing it. I looked on Twitter. I purposely did not retweet that clip because I did not want to get yelled at by Kansas fans / sources and stuff like that. But
we'll put it out there for you guys.
Oh God! I saw 6 people bookmarked my tweet. Bookmarked the tweet. I was like, God, this is gonna look so bad if they. And I bet you I'll get asked about it by somebody on the KU side of things. And I was like, whatever, man. Like. I was like, of course they put out the one clip where I'm not endlessly positive about KU football or like say the nice things I usually say.
It's all about those clicks.
But like, I just really struggle with the quarterback issue and all the question marks in the transfers and the schedule as a whole and the fact they're playing 9 straight games after London.
Yeah, I didn't like that. When the schedule
how do you
out.
see a bowl team out of this unless you think Isaiah Marshall, Cole Ballard are better than Jalen Daniels was to start 2/3 of the season?
Which, to be fair, Jalen Daniels was really bad at
the last 1/3.
Yeah.
Like
that
really bad
those
at times.
2/3 was 18 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
Cole Ballard, Isaiah Marshall are not doing that. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
guys. Like, it's not happening. Maybe, they take some, like...
Hopefully there's a healthy middle between the two.
I was going to say,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
KU fans would accept that, too, because,
But
like you said, JD was in the Heisman conversation the first half of 2 different seasons when he was here at KU. But, man, his numbers were just not good. When he was bad, it was not good. So it's like, I think KU fans would want, get us out there and see how good of a team we can be when we're not way up or way down, But, it's going to be interesting. Long Island comes to town, and, it's exciting. The stadium's going to be awesome, man. I mean, they're already doing the foundation, the parking garage, the hotel. They've got the wheat lights up on the east side. It's going to be
really
cool.
cool.
Long Island and Missouri are both Friday games to start things, and then, across the pond. Are you going to the game in London?
I am.
Nice, man.
I
Let's
am.
go. Me
I'm
too.
stoked for it.
Sweet. Awesome. Well, I'd imagine that you and Dan will both be getting fantastic content for Kansas Nation on us. Yeah.
That's true.
We'll break some bread over some fish and chips.
Dude,
and,
we're going to
maybe a
Indian food.
pint.
We're eating Indian. It's London. We're eating Indian.
You're not going to be able to talk him off fish and chips.
I guess that, and you've
He's
talked
going
about
fish and
that
chips every
my
meal.
country. Like, I'm absolutely taking you to have
I know.
Indian food. It's really good there.
You know what is terrible is that like I I was in London 2 years ago, and
I think I sent you some Rex, didn't I?
You did, and
Wow,
I
it's been 2
only
years.
ate fish and chips the
Go to
entire
hell.
time.
Man, go to hell. The food is so good. This
I'm
is
sure
my,
it is. I love
this
Indian
is my,
food. I love
this
butter
is
chicken.
My view on European food. If they didn't colonize that country, do not bother eating it.
Yeah, that's
It's
fair.
garbage, okay? I tried sushi in Barcelona that was super highly rated. Horrible.
Okay.
I tried Thai food. Bad. Mexican food, not good. Even though they should have, I mean, they partly colonized, I guess,
Right.
Mexico.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's
What was
that.
good in Portugal? Brazilian food.
Sure.
Was good in
I'll buy that,
London?
yeah.
Indian food.
Yeah, makes sense.
Jamaican food. The Irish have just taken American cuisine and made it their own.
Yeah.
And they call it spice bags and add Indian. Have you tried a spice bag?
Uh-uh.
It is delightful. It's literally just cut up chicken tenders and French fries in a bag with some spices. They shake it up, and then they have a side of curry sauce on the side, and you pour it on the top. It is
All right.
so good.
All right.
Does
You
sound
should
good.
go to a pub here and find a spice bag, and you guys would love it. I
Okay.
think it's a delightful thing to have with watching a game or something.
I'll check it out.
A
Yeah.
friend asked me, actually a colleague asked me if they can make a spice bag, but with fish and chips instead.
Yeah,
I feel like you
Is
could.
it-
I feel like you could. Okay, where have you tried this fish and chips that was good? Because I'm not a big fish guy, but I had fish and
Oh,
chips
it was-
last time, and I was kind of
He
like,
doesn't like the
it
fish.
was-
He
It
likes
was
the-
more
he likes
so.
the batter.
It was more so that I do.
too,
I
me
like
too.
the batter.
I'm
but
the same
it
way,
was,
buddy.
It was more so. I went to a pub to get a pint, and
Yeah.
they had fish and chips on the menu.
So
I just ate at pubs the entire time. I didn't go to like actual restaurants. It was just all bars. So that was essentially what it was.
Indian food is my wife's favorite, so if I get an opportunity to go over there, then I'll be
Butter,
there.
butter chicken. I've told you this.
we
Butter
gotta-
chicken changed my life.
We got to take you guys to the Overland Park place. I took Nick and his
Oh,
life.
yeah,
This
dude.
was his first time ever having
Yeah.
Indian food. He loved it.
Good for him. He doesn't strike me as a guy who goes out of his comfort zone often.
He's been venturing a lot. You know, me and Henry have been pushing him to try different things.
Yeah.
Henry being vegetarian, me being Indian, so it's like
Yeah.
you're forced to. Which
Yeah,
Sure.
you know,
That makes sense.
Hey, always enjoy our conversation, Shreyas, sports or otherwise. Shreyas Laddha, Kansas City Star, has got great coverage. You can catch him as well on the Kansas City Sports Network podcast. Shreyas, appreciate your time, man. Let's get together soon outside of work, and we can have some even deeper, more meaningful
Grab a
conversations.
spice bag. Sometime.
Yeah.
let's
bags
make it
and
happen.
brews.
I'm gonna have to find a spice bag around here.
Let's do it. Shreyas Laddha, Kansas City Star. Hey, after this, we're going to go back to Frisco, Texas, and hear from head coach Lance Leipold. That's next. ESPN Kansas City, kansasnation.com.
I'm Tyson LeBlanc, and you're watching kansasnation.com.
This is SSJ. Winter in Kansas City doesn't mean your lawn takes a break. It means smart homeowners get a head start. Let David and his crew from Custom Lawn and Landscape prepare your yard for a greener, healthier spring with winter fertilization, soil conditioning, and pre-emergent treatments that stop weeds before they start. Because when the snow melts, you don't want to start fixing your lawn. You want to already be winning. Trust Custom Lawn and Landscape, treating your yard now so it looks incredible later. Visit CustomLawn.com to schedule your winter services today.
Celebrate the summer with savings at Crown Toyota. BZ models, 0% APR with a $500 cash incentive. RAV4 models, 4.99% APR. 2026 Toyota Tacoma, 3.99% APR. Get into a 2026 Tundra for 2.99% APR.
KU and K-State bring their bitter basketball rivalry to the basketball tournament in Topeka this summer. Kansas alumni team Jayhawks Hoops, led by Frank Mason III and Marcus Garrett, take on K-State alumni team Purple Rain, starring Michael Beasley and Xavier Sneed. Catch the action at Lee Arena in Topeka, July 22nd, as the Big 12 foes duke it out on the road to TBT's $2 million grand prize. Don't miss the chance to check out and support your favorite former Jayhawks in just a few weeks. Get your tickets now at tbthoops.com.
Together, we're elevating our potential, our pride, our traditions, and our dreams. Together, we're opening up a whole new world of possibilities. Elevate your University of Kansas experience with Jayhawk checking from Central Bank. Central Bank and KU, elevating together.
Getting your weekend going here on Rock Chalk Sports, brought to you by Custom Lawn and Landscape. Spring and summer are made for backyard fun, and they've got a great home insect control program that's going to help defend your yard from the pesky bugs that are such an annoyance this time of year. Your pets and loved ones can enjoy the outdoors more comfortably and safely with this home insect control program. Plus, when you sign up, your first application is absolutely free. It's a simple way to take back your backyard this spring and summer. Visit CustomLawn.com to schedule your free first application with a seasonal insect control program. Custom Lawn and Landscape, helping you love your lawn without the bugs. Dan, before we get to Lance Leipold with ESPN Wichita earlier this week at Monster Energy Big 12 Football Media Days, John Riggins.
Yeah,
How about the Washington football team honoring the former Jayhawk legend?
The Centralia Comet. That's not what his nickname was. But, yeah, shout out to John Riggins. He's going to have his jersey retired for the Washington Commanders. That's going to be this year. About damn time is what I say. I mean, it's unbelievable that it's taken this long. One of the greatest, running backs, at least in Washington's history. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer. Did he win Super Bowl MVP? I think he won Super Bowl MVP that year. Also, was the oldest player to ever rush for more than 150 yards in a single game back in 1985. Won the first Super Bowl of Washington's franchise. I mean, it's really, really, really cool for him to be honored in this way. Obviously, a former Jayhawk, one of the greatest Jayhawk running backs of all time, Kansas native, and getting the honor that is well deserved and well past when he should have gotten it.
1970 was Riggins' senior season. He rushed for 1,131 yards here in the River City. He finished his career with 2,659 rushing yards, which broke Gale Sayers' career rushing record for the school. The current rushing record now is held by Devin Neal, who graduated a couple years ago. There's some trivia for you. And also, while at Kansas, you know what Riggins majored in? Yes, you got it. Journalism. How about that? Shout out to the J School here at KU. But KU legend, shout out to the Washington football team for finally getting Riggins where he deserves to be. All right, let's go back to Frisco, Texas. Here, a one-on-one interview. ESPN Wichita with head football coach Lance Leipold.
Broadcasting for Big 12 Football Media Days in Frisco, Texas. I'm Pat Strothman. Pleased to be joined by the head football coach of the Kansas Jayhawks, Lance Leipold. And Coach, glad to see you. I felt like just yesterday we were talking spring ball, and now here we are in July, and that means football season is just around the corner. How was spring ball? How has summer been as you prepare for 2026?
Well, Pat, first of all, it's great to be with you and really enjoy it. And, yeah, time's flying by. I can't even believe we're heading into our sixth season when you think about that. It just seems like yesterday we got here. But as you say, time keeps moving. Got through spring well. Really impressed with our guys. We added a lot of new players. I thought we'd have some more – more of a learning curve in some aspects of just getting used to our way of doing things. But it's been very smooth. Excited about the depth of our program. Guys have been working hard. We're in the thick of it now. As you know, Kansas weather's really starting to heat up, so we're starting to work through all that, and it'll be August and fall camp in no time.
You brought up bringing in so many new faces. You lost so many seniors from that squad last year. How did you go about constructing this roster, especially – with how things are now? You have the 5-for-5 rule that you guys got to pay attention to. You obviously still have to pay attention to NIL, how that is all going. So how did you go about constructing this roster?
Well, 5-for-5 wasn't quite there yet. We're putting it together. So as you go through that, and you talked about, we had two really back-to-back senior classes of over 30 players, which, as you know, when we got to Lawrence, retention was an issue. And we wanted to kind of change that about our program, develop, hang on to guys, make them see that Lawrence was a great place to be. The program was something to believe in, and I thought we accomplished that. And then at the meantime, then all of a sudden you start looking at the age of your team, and you're looking in this new era of players. Like I think in Indiana, Miami, the average age of the player experience-wise was 4.5 years of playing experience or something. So again, a lot of successful teams are a little bit on the older side in college football right now. So how do we blend that in but still recruit players? And again, you evaluate your roster where you have to get better. We knew, obviously our target areas need to get better on defense, add more depth, add more size, replace some holes in the offensive line, as well as in the backfield. And again, we kind of went through that, and I think we addressed those.
And then the other aspect is too, you throw out, you have a GM, you're looking at all that stuff too. That's also new too, right?
Yeah. And Rob Einell has done a great job as our general manager. Rob's been with me now going on year 12. Longtime recruiting coordinator, Wisconsin, Notre Dame, and some other places, had his coaching experience, but has really done an outstanding job in this of again, combining his recruiting coordinator experience about putting the boards together, how we try to spread out our classes by age. So we're not, but sometimes you get log jam, like this year we'll have 4 senior linebackers again. You don't want that. We always wanted to try. Our portal philosophy at one time was we wanted to get guys with more than 1 year experience. We didn't want a lot of in and out guys if possible, but sometimes when things play out, best available at the moment is that guy. So we put those thoughts together and what we have to do to make our team better, and obviously within the parameters of what we can afford, and in today's landscape also plays a big part of it.
I'm sure you haven't been asked this question at all, but quarterback wise, I'm just kidding. I'm sure you've been hit up a lot about that. We're not going to ask you to tip your hand at all.
Well, I just want to quickly interrupt you there, Pat. I think you're right about in the median right now of how many questions are asked before we get to that one. I think there was only one that asked right out of the gate, but usually everybody kind of waits about 3 or 4 questions. So good job. You're right in the middle.
I'm glad I'm right on par with everyone else. That's great. Fantastic. So you knew that was going to be the case, but Cole Ballard, Isaiah Marshall, and of course, don't sleep on Reynolds as well. Another guy that you brought in as well. But when you look at Cole Ballard and you look at Isaiah Marshall, I know I'm singling out those two. And I know that's probably not entirely fair, but those are the ones that Kansas fans are going to recognize. Cole Ballard filled in for Jalen a few years back against Kansas State, did quite well. You have Isaiah Marshall, who has really just bided his time to get to this point, and now you got a quarterback competition with those two individuals. How has that gone, and what have each of them brought to the table for Kansas football?
I think it's gone really well. They both have played well, and it's truly a battle. Some people think you're waiting, you're doing this. Each have shown flashes. I know Andy Kolnicki now returned to our program. We were just talking yesterday. Truly excited about both of those guys. And Isaiah's had a really good summer. Cole equally went to the Manning Academy, which again, sometimes just an exposure of being around other college quarrebacks.
And by the way, he looks big.
Yeah.
Like looking at pictures, I'm like, holy cow, you sure that's not a linebacker?
Yeah, he's over 220. He's really thinking, and again, he's a threat as a runner. He's not as fast as Isaiah, but he is a threat with the ball in his hands, and it's going to be exciting. And we'll name a starter when it's time. And when will that be? I'm not sure. And we'll see. And especially with Andy's background as a play caller and putting game plans together, I can easily see both playing in games and having roles as we go through it. And it's not because we don't have one. Sometimes when you're playing 2, you have 0, right? And so as we go through that, we're battling and they're going through that. And I think they both bring different elements in their personalities, but the one thing that they have similar is they're excellent leaders and they're well respected in the locker room. And I think sometimes we look at it and everybody thinks that the answers through everything is in the portal. We had a situation where these guys have been in the program, but we had an experienced quarterback. And Jalen Daniels played the last 2 years healthy and played 24 games. But the other component was that Jalen never went through spring. There was always a cleanup or something that was going through that he was modified or completely out. Well, in those last couple springs, guess who got all the reps? Those two guys. So there's banked reps with them and experience that we're ready to see. I think, again, if we're truly going to be developmental in what we want to do, you got to put your guys out there that have been in your program. And I believe that and what we had to do to address other areas and needs, these were our best opportunities to win football games.
Oh, and as part of the answer there, you already brought out the possibility of playing them both. That was going to be my next question, the reality of that happening. Again, I'm not going to go into schematics and ask you a plan, but you already kind of answered that. But since you got that already done, now I turn the attention to the backfield and Dylan Edwards. And I think when I had you on for spring ball, you're like, I'm surprised you didn't ask about Dylan Edwards first.
Right.
Because such a big weapon, and certainly in Wichita, a former Derby Panther. But I know it's not just Dylan. I know you got some other guys there too.
Right.
How do you feel about your running back room, and how well has Dylan blended in with everyone over there?
You know, Dylan's blended in really well. He's a fine young man. He's looking for, I guess, if the fresh start, new chapter, all those things. But you can see why everyone is always raved about his explosiveness and abilities. He gives us a dimension we haven't had at Kansas in my time, about with speed and quickness to create those big plays and those things. And Yasan Willis is another back. He's a big back. He's physical. I know Andy's really excited about him, saying, definitely would have been a guy that would have helped him at Penn State and things like that. He really likes his running style. Jalen Dupree missed spring with a surgery, so he's kind of an unknown commodity in the backfield. But I know he's going to be a very good player. And then we have a true freshman, early enrollee, and Corey Amakari from Michigan. That is, I don't want to say put pressure on, but he's, as far as an early enrollee, physical development and his ways of going about things, reminds me very much what Devin was when he arrived. He's got a want to, a learning that he's in there asking for help. He's got the size and physical development that sometimes you got to wait for a guy to get him in the weight room and do something. He's strong, he's fast, he's learning the system, he's learning college football. But again, that is a room I think that will have many options to go to.
A lot of new faces in the wide receiver room. You have Cam Pickett returning, and that's the one I think everyone's going to look at. Not going to shortchange Keaton Quebeca or anyone else that's also coming back. But as you look at a bunch of the new guys that you're bringing in to the fold here for 2026, what has stood out about that group? Has anyone really kind of stood out at this point?
Everyone has shown flashes, which is exciting to give you the depth that you need. Cam Pickett's here today. Cam's an outstanding man, works hard. When he transferred in from Ball State, I knew he was a great fit to be a Jayhawk, just in his mannerisms and how he goes. Obviously, with Emmanuel Henderson there last year and getting drafted by the Seahawks, there's a new opportunity to be more of a go-to guy. We'll use him in different ways, but he's not afraid to do the dirty work too in the run game and some of those things that we need. You mentioned Keaton Quebeca. The guy's been in our program. Kind of, he's bided his time. He's battled through a couple injuries. He gives us some length out there that it's kind of his opportunity in time to help this program, and I know he's excited about it. Najee Cox is a transfer from Middle Tennessee, another taller receiver that does an excellent job in 50-50 balls. And then Nick McMillan is a transfer from Buffalo, actually, a guy that when he was like a sophomore in high school, we offered him when we were still there. Very unassuming, confident young man, very quiet, but he works hard, and he really came on, had a great start to spring and finished strong as well. And again, that gives us that receiver core that we're looking for. Tate Nagy's another player that played our only true freshman that played last year, was our punt returner. Kind of gives us a little bit like Luke Grimm did. He's that guy that can be in the slot. For a guy that was a high school quarterback, he's got a great feel for the game and really how to get open and separate and do. Not the biggest guy, but he's put on some weight and he has excellent hands and awareness.
Going over the defensive side of the ball, Trey Lathan coming back. What was the process like for the coaching staff? All right, he enters, kind of chills there for a little bit, and then comes on back. I imagine that's a unique position to be in, although it's something that you're probably gotten used to. But I'm sure you're probably sitting there going, man, if Trey comes back, this defense, like, you look at of course, there's other guys too. And once again, I'm not trying to just single out one, but Trey Lathan just feels like the heartbeat, right? Just feels like the heartbeat of the team.
And just for clarity, Trey had at first stated he was going to enter. He never officially got in.
That's true. Thank you.
And there's some things that go along with that. But as young men, again, the one down thing, kind of a sidebar, is on the portal is a lot of times when the portal windows happen, it's when guys are sometimes mentally at their most vulnerable time about, they're tired, they're this, they're having fun. And again, sometimes they can make emotional decisions. And we always try to temper that with guys, unless there's already been a discussion that a change of scenery or something would be best for everybody. But we went through that with Trey, and again, guys get into, people get in their heads and get in their ears about certain things. And you talk to Trey about, okay, you're a leading tackler, you're coming back. What do you want? What are you looking for? Okay. Where do you want to be when your career's over? You want to play at the next level. Being in a system for 2 years, why do you want to go to school 3? All those kind of things that guys sometimes don't fully think about. And as we kind of went through it, and it wasn't he wasn't pushing us on money. It wasn't that. And as we talked about it, what he could do and grow as a person could all be done right at Kansas. And part of that is actually being here today, as he has a chance to interact with people like yourself and grow as a man. It's going to help him with and without football. And we need him to be a confident middle linebacker. He's a really good football player, but we've challenged him to be more vocal and be around. He is now put himself in a position where he's one of the first 5 guys in our building every day, and he's really kind of taken that next step that we needed.
How well has Bam Crouch paired with them so far?
It's been, Bam was slowed a little bit early. And some winter workouts, and it's kind of one of those where you're waiting, and then towards the end of spring you could see him get healthy, and he was really frustrated, and his body language was okay, but it was more like he was upset with himself.
Yeah.
But watching him move at the end of spring and watching him this summer, it's going to be exciting. And I think partially because he was injured at Boston College, he comes back and guys kind of getting there, oh no, here is this going to happen again. Him and Bam are going to be good. Quincy Davis is another great addition. He's a solid player from New Mexico State, very underrated. He's going to help us. Jabril Alamin's another one from Marshall that transferred, that is going to give us some athleticism and also some length as an outside backer. We're playing with a nickel quite a bit now and stuff like that, but these guys they're pushing DK to try to play with 3 linebackers more because they really like what's on the field. And the other thing is, we've got some younger players in Malachi Curvey out of the Ankeny, Iowa area, and then Josh Gilbreth right from Lawrence High that was an early enrollee that also have bright futures. And that's when I keep saying what makes me excited about our team is the depth that we have within the first guys on the field to the next guys is probably the best it's been across the board since we've been here.
Well, last year, Leroy Harris really blossomed. How does he go about taking the next step, and how do you bring other guys along with him to generate more pass rush?
Well, again, to work on daily improvement for Leroy to kind of work at it. He's very gifted. He understands our base is pushing Leroy every day to be at his best, and he also has to understand that now people have film of him a little bit more. And okay, what are they going to do? Is he going to get chipped? Is he ever going to have? Is it going to be double team? Whatever that is, are they going to put a back or somebody on him? So he's got to be able to answer that and then handle some of those frustrations that go with it. But we do feel like we have some guys. Dak Brinkley's another good pass rusher. Alex Bray, David Santiago came over from Michigan State. Those are going to be guys that are going to give us more help on the perimeter that we have. But again, Leroy's a guy I think we talked about for, when we brought him in last May to come in for June from Tennessee Chattanooga, our full intention was to redshirt him. Guy with length, we'll work with him. We'll see where it's at. All of a sudden, by the end of the summer, he put on 30 pounds. It was amazing. And to watch him, then he just kept getting better in camp and just burst on the scene. And you watch him walk around here today, he's good as looking as anyone, for that position. And we're going to need another big year from him.
Overall, depth-wise, you kind of touched on it a little bit with on the defensive side of the ball. Do you feel like depth-wise it's improved here for 2026?
Yeah, definitely. Especially, we tried to address things up front in the portal and D-tackle situation, adding some bodies there.
Secondary, probably.
Yeah, secondary as well. We lost Lyric Rawls that went to Arizona State, but Corey Gordon, Christian Pritchett, Kai Cummings-Coleman came in from Iowa State. We have some guys who have played in P4 football games at the safety position. Saeed Gibbs was in our program last year as a corner. Roman Pearson came over from Ball State. I think we have some guys that are going to continue to push and create that daily competition that we need. Obviously, we played with Austin Alexander, Jalen Todd last year, and we didn't get an interception. And again, they're younger players, played solid, but again, I look forward for all of them to be a lot more confident and understanding on what's needed each and every day to go out there and give us some of those plays that we need on the outside.
I know it's all about moving forward. It's a new year, but how often do you look back at last year and go, here are 5 plays in this game that could have changed everything about the season?
Yeah, Ben, I say this a lot, and nobody cares because everybody can say things the other way.
Of course.
You know, we get a goal line stand at UCF. If we don't have it, you know, what happens then?
Yeah.
But we know that in the last 2 years, we could take 2 plays, 3 plays, and it's 7 or 8 wins just on something happening, a dropped interception, a drop in pick 6, a coaching decision maybe to go for it or something. There's a lot of things that everybody can do better, and we have to coach it better, but we would easily be in a position that we'd be in bowl games and doing things, but that's the difference of winning and losing. And we got to be able to be, and that's where I'm hoping the depth, maybe some of the small changes we made, some of the additions that we've made into this program is going to put us over the top.
And then also, too, I remember when you first became the head coach of Kansas, the one word that you used often was continuity. And now you have Andy Koltnicki coming back, someone who's very much aware of Kansas. DK McDonald going into year number 2 as a defensive coordinator. It feels like that's also part of the process too, right? Having those guys come back and once again building on that continuity, because you mentioned that so often when you became the head coach of Kansas.
And because of what Kansas had been, and that's really what was supported. But the other thing is, even when Travis and I talked at the end of the year about staffing, and even fully before getting Andy back, it really gained its momentum and doing things. I said this. I said for Travis, for myself, for any of us in a job, are we better year 2 of a job than we are year 1? The answer is usually yes. We learn. And I said, whether we liked it or not, DK, sometime you're going to have your first year as a coordinator. Jim was going to have his first year back as being a play caller, first time at the Power 4 level. There's things there that, again, we're going to be better. And that's why I want to believe in our staff and do those things. Now, you have the opportunity to add something to your program that knows your program, knows the culture and the expectations, but can do some added things as well. That's why we brought Andy back into this thing.
You ready for the stadium noise, the construction noise to be done?
Well,
does that get to a coach? I don't know.
That'll be in 27, hopefully. But it's starting to come to shape. And I said this earlier today to somebody. Andy said it when he came back. He goes, I don't think you guys understood how much displacement can take you out of rhythm and what you do. I'm not going to say it as an excuse of cost us a game or 2 or whatever. But there are, he goes, I don't think you guys, but again, you put your head down, you go to work, and where it's at, noise or noise, I don't know if it's as much noise or dust and all the things that happen, but it's exciting times. And again, it's a credit and tribute to our, university and our administration to make a project like that really happen.
Well, last year getting a chance to go to the Wagner game, it was a dream come true. Getting a chance to be there and see it, and I couldn't believe my eyes as a guy who's been on that campus. We had someone on that campus from a family for 20 consecutive years, and you see it, and it's just, you have to pinch yourself. Like it's amazing.
And I said this as well is, okay, you look at what's going on in Kansas City, let's just say with whether it be Chiefs or Royals, and a stadium about when it's going to be announced and when it's going to be completed and what they're going to have and how many years down the road that's going to be. And to see what we have announced and completed and to get it done and still get games played is really special. And when it's truly completed and that, I think it'll be something that everyone will be excited about and proud about.
All right, Coach. Well, appreciate your time as always. Thank you so much for being here, and best of luck to you this year.
All right. Thank you.
That's head coach Lance Leipold with ESPN Wichita a little bit earlier this week. Hope you guys have enjoyed the conversations from Monster Energy Big 12 Football Media Days that some of our colleagues had an opportunity to go down and participate And coming up next, we're going to do a KU football opponent outlook as we look at the TCU Horned Frogs. That's next on Rock Chalk Sports, ESPN Kansas City, kansasnation.com.
What's up, everybody? Dan Peterson. Everybody go check out kansasnation.com.
Pool Spa and Patio Sale at Family Leisure. Pool starting at $19.99. Buy now, swim this summer. Spa starting at $34.99. Swim spa starting at $16,999. 0% interest until 2030 on select items. Adirondack chairs only $199. 5-piece dining set only $8.99. Wicker dining sectional now only $19.99. Make memories this summer. Pool Spa and Patio Sale going on now at Family Leisure.
Get 0.9% APR or a $3,500 customer bonus on 2026 Atlas models. 2026 Atlas Cross Sport 3.9% APR or $3,500 customer bonus. 26 Tiguan models now 1.9% APR or a $2,500 customer bonus.
At the heart of a city lies the restless, the visionaries, the bold. From redefining events to guiding local youth, providing lifelines of industry, or reshaping wellness across the region, you deserve a financial partner that matches your ambition. At Meritrust, we handle the finances so you can take care of the bold. Meritrust Credit Union. Business, banking, bold.
This is SSJ. Winter in Kansas City doesn't mean your lawn takes a break. It means smart homeowners get a head start. Let David and his crew from Custom Lawn and Landscape prepare your yard for a greener, healthier spring with winter fertilization, soil conditioning, and pre-emergent treatments that stop weeds before they start. Because when the snow melts, you don't want to start fixing your lawn, you want to already be winning. Trust Custom Lawn and Landscape, treating your yard now so it looks incredible later. Visit customlawn.com to schedule your winter services today.
Closing things down here on Rock Chalk Sports. Sean Kellerman, Dan Courtwright, Elijah Schmidt, and Tyler Brewer with you. Really pumped about our new partners over at Meritrust Credit Union. Jayhawk fans, show up, pack the field house, and wave the wheat. When it comes to money, Meritrust brings that same energy. That's because financial well-being isn't just something they offer, it's why they exist. Real people, local decisions, a team that actually knows your name. When you're ready to improve your financial game plan, they're ready. Meritrust Credit Union is the official financial well-being partner of Kansas Athletics. Visit meritrust.org to learn more. Federally insured by the NCUA. KU football opponent outlook takes us to Halloween, where the Hawks will be taking on the Frogs in Fort Worth, Texas. Dan, what can you tell us about TCU?
Yeah, a lot of interesting stuff going around TCU. So wanted to start off here because they just hired a new offensive coordinator. So their old offensive coordinator, Kendall, I'm forgetting his name, Kendall something. He actually wound up taking
Kendall something.
It's Kendall something. Interesting name. I think it's Dutch. He winds up taking a job at South Carolina. So TCU, they hire Gordon Samus from UConn. I believe I'm saying that right. Interesting hire here because this guy, not a lot of people were talking about this. UConn had a damn good offense last year. They averaged 445 yards per game and 35 points per game last year. They were also number one in the nation in the fewest turnovers. That's one aspect of the game where TCU kind of really struggled last year, right? Josh Hoover probably threw more picks than you wanted him to. A lot of fumbles back last year. They had 20 turnovers last year. Meanwhile, UConn led the nation in fewest turnovers with 2. They had a fumble that they lost when their second string was in a blowout win, and they had a pick late against Air Force and also
insane.
A blowout win. Unbelievable.
You're not going to lose a lot of games when
that's
you don't
absolutely
turn
right.
the ball over.
Yeah, I know. So it's insane. So this Gordon Samus guy coming over from UConn, I think is really going to be a nice fit for this, especially because they have a lot of dangerous weapons on their offense. They're returning their leading rusher, Jeremy Payne. He had 5.7 yards per carry last year, 623, 5 touchdowns, really nice on the ground. They did lose their leading receiver last year, Aaron McAllister. He was over 1,100 yards last year, but they're bringing back Jordan Dwyer. Jordan Dwyer, really nice playmaker on the outside, 780 yards last year. Again, a really nice player. Also, Ed Small should be a really nice slot receiver. And they have a couple of Really nice transfers coming in as well, headlined by Jeremy Scott. He's from South Alabama, averaged 17 yards per catch his freshman year at South Alabama, now transferring in. He's going to essentially be the replacement for Eric McAllister from last year for TCU. So a lot of fun weapons on the offensive side of the ball. They are losing Josh Hoover. Josh Hoover has transferred now to Indiana, but they're bringing in a really interesting quarterback named Jaden Craig. He transfers over from Harvard, nerd, but really good stats for him. He had 2,869 yards last year, 25 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and the kid can run as well. I mean, he had around 200 rushing yards last year, but a really nice mover and really good through the air. And you tie in the fact that they're bringing back Jeremy Payne, their leading rusher from last year. They're bringing back a lot of production on the outside from last year. You add in Jaden Craig, who has proven it at a lower level that he is a really good quarterback. Now he's got to be able to prove it at a higher level, right? This is really going to be his chance to kind of show people that he's got what it takes to play in a Power 4 and potentially go and be the second Harvard quarterback in NFL history. Also lost a couple linebackers from last year. 228 total tackles, 6 sacks, and 15 tackles for loss. That's what they're going to be trying to replace. They're also dead last in terms of receiving yards per game on the defensive side. So really struggling there. But again, TCU should be really good this year.
Yeah, a lot of new faces, but they went 9-4 last year, 5-4 in Big 12, and they're always going to be a solid program. That'll go down Halloween here this upcoming season in Fort Worth. Hey, that's going to do it for Rock Chalk Sports. Thanks for tuning in all week. Those watching live on Facebook, live on YouTube, listening on ESPN Kansas City, watching on kansasnation.com. For our technical director, Elijah Schmidt, assisted by Tyler Brewer today and Dan Courtwright, I'm Sean Kellerman saying we'll catch you next week from 4 to 6 daily, Rock Chalk Sports. Thanks again, guys. ESPN Kansas City, kansasnation.com.
I'm Keith Langford, and you're watching kansasnation.com.
Together, we're elevating our potential, our pride, our traditions, and our dreams. Together, we're opening up a whole new world of possibilities. Elevate your University of Kansas experience with Jayhawk checking from Central Bank. Central Bank and KU, elevating together.
Hi there, Gary Joslin with Joslin's Jewelry. I'm not the class ring company. I'm a mom and pop jewelry store for 42 years. We were recently voted the gold medal #1 jewelry store in the greater Kansas City area by Ingram's Magazine. Come see us at Joslin's Jewelry, 9529 Antioch. Joslin's Jewelry, the jeweler you'll recommend to your friends and family.
Joslin's Jewelry, for the best that's yet to come.
KU and K-State bring their bitter basketball rivalry to the basketball tournament in Topeka this summer. Kansas alumni team Jayhawks Hoops, led by Frank Mason III and Marcus Garrett, take on K-State alumni team Purple Rain, starring Michael Beasley and Xavier Sneed. Catch the action at Lee Arena in Topeka, July 22nd, as the Big 12 foes duke it out on the road to TBT's $2 million grand prize. Don't miss the chance to check out and support your favorite former Jayhawks in just a few weeks.